Come on, stop buffering. There we go. Hello, everybody. Hi, Annie
Hello.
J and Dan. First to show up. Love it.
Of course. So what's been shaking?
What's been shaking? Oh my goodness. I have been enthralled with the Johnny Depp trial and closing arguments and just shaking my head over Amber Heard's legal team. Just what a shit show.
Well, she is a shit show because, they're all talking like, uh, oh, well, she's not really all that popular. Nobody knew her beforehand. Well, yeah, probably not. But um, I only knew who she was because of, Aquaman. And other than that, no, I had no idea who she was.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I only knew because she was in as a co-star in an old Nick Cage movie from years back called Drive Angry, and that was one of my favorite weird movies.
right, right.
So that
Yes.
was my actual only because I'm not a superhero movie fan. Um, so her being Mira was like, oh, who's
Right. Hi,
that?
Dan. Hi, Annie, Janny. I hope you guys are doing good.
But yeah, but this was just totally fascinating and watching her. Ah, I don't know when people were pointing out the professionals, her bipolar and her histrionic personality and all this stuff, and the look on her face was just priceless. It's like, I don't know.
And I did enjoy when Kate Moss, and boy, she looked great. Kate Moss still looks great. I mean, come on. Uh, I just loved the look on her face when she listened to Kate Moss's testimony. And
Oh,
it's like, uh-oh, busted.
well, whatever. Hi, Jules.
Hi, Jules, my dear.
Yeah, we'll get this show on the road in a bit here, but just how yeah, it was. I'm almost glad it's over, and but I'm going to go. What am I going to
I know.
do?
I know. I mean, I've been so busy lately. It's like, oh my God. Contrary to popular belief, yes, I do actually go do things. Um, it's I've been having to catch the recaps, but I was lucky enough to catch when Kate Moss was on. I rewound it a little because somebody, I think it might even been you. She's on right now. I'm like, oh shit. Let me scroll
Like,
back and
it was
look.
literally
So
on
I
for
got
five
to see it real
minutes.
quick. I know it was very quick, and um, it's going to be interesting to see. And I know they said they really wanted to get this to the jury by the end of this week. So did they do that?
Yeah, it should be over now. The closing arguments now. There might be some rebuttal, but basically it's over. So now it's gone to the jury, and we
Good.
just sit and wait now.
Right. And to be quite honest, and I've said this, before to everybody, they both behaved badly. I mean, that's
Oh
not a
yeah,
question here.
absolutely, absolutely.
And him being a dumbass for marrying her, actually, I'm sorry,
Hey,
but I had to throw that in.
Yeah,
But
guess it's not worth your time.
yeah, exactly. And he really shouldn't have married her at all. And plus, come on now, girl, she had years of red flags here.
Hmm.
So, to know that she shouldn't have married him either.
Well, she was
So,
in it for the prestige, the money, um, and really, because somebody put up on Twitter. I don't know if I mentioned it the
I'll be
last time
right back.
you were on.
Sorry.
Yeah, um, but they put up a side by side of Amber Heard's face after she claimed with Johnny punched her several times with a fistful of rings on. And then they showed a picture of Rihanna after what's his name? I'm sorry, his name is escaping me. Punched her a couple of times in the face. And it was completely night and day. There was not some delicate little bruise on the side of her cheek. And you compared to what Rihanna's face looked like, it was swollen and there was busted blood vessels, and it was, there was trauma to that woman's face. So
Exactly.
that was, yeah, you can't show me that delicate little bruise and say that he punched her out
Would
multiple
yeah,
times with rings on his fingers, and that's all she got from it. I don't care
right.
how much makeup you have or how much
True.
ice you
True.
put on your face. You
Right.
can't hide that.
No. And she's tried to claim that her makeup crew was the one that was able to to do
Mhm.
all that magic and fix it. Bullshit.
Yep.
You know, yeah, I'm sorry.
Chris Brown,
She
thank
didn't
you.
sell that one too well either. So,
Yeah.
it's funny, but hi Daria. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, honey. Hi, welcome. Glad to see you. Um, but it's just crazy. I don't understand. Honestly, they've wasted the court's time, in my opinion, lots of money. And, they actually should both get a kick in the pants and sent out the door with a sucker.
Yep. Yeah, but he's got a point. His reputation was ruined,
Oh,
and all he
yeah, I
wants is his name
understand.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's always going to be Johnny Depp. He will rebound.
Mhm.
The fans are already speaking about what they say, and they are not going to be happy if he's replaced as Captain Jack Sparrow. Nobody's going to be, you know, uh, they're not going to
Yeah.
be able to replace him, and the fans are going to, state it, and they're not going to go see the movies. They're just not, and
No, not.
he's he does a lot too behind the scenes. He's very charitable. He dresses up as Captain Jack and goes to see sick people in the hospital. And, I mean, he's surprised, people at Disney in the Pirates ride. I mean, he's just done, a lot more stuff than some celebrities ever do.
So if this case is just dismissed out of hand, which I kind of suspect it will be,
Yeah.
um, he will recover. I pretty much 100% that her career is finished. If she even works at all, it'll probably be TV, maybe a Lifetime movie. I don't know. But she's done. She's done.
Oh, I think so too.
Yeah, but she's got Elon Musk in the wings with that baby and a petri dish full of fertilized eggs. So she's got it made. She's not going to suffer.
I'm
Hello.
sorry. I'm
Oh,
multitasking, not doing very well.
that's okay. We're old. Ah,
Amen, sister. Jesus Christ. God.
oh
Oh,
gosh. So okay,
man.
we'll get off the celebrity train now and move on to what's new in the cruise world, Kate.
Hey, I still keep getting, oh my God, I don't know why, but, maybe it's just this time of year that, and plus, the cruising industry has really taken a hard hit with COVID. So, um, we've just been getting stuff right and left. I mean, we've gotten stuff from Norwegian, we've gotten stuff from Princess, we've gotten stuff from Holland. It's just like they are begging people to go on a cruise.
Please.
Well, yes, and one of my siblings is going on a cruise next month, and I'm just like, more power to you. Have a good time. How many pocket packs you want to take? Good Lord, girl, no. I
No.
mean, mm-mm. I just don't feel comfortable going right now. I mean, there's other stuff about cruise ships that are a little that people kind of get freaked out about. We took my mother-in-law one year on the Grand Princess, and that was hilarious. Um, we had a ball, but it was just, and for the size of that ship back in the day, that was one of the bigger ships back in the day, and it was. I sent you a message, Jules, by the way. Uh, it was very easy to get around that ship. I was surprised because some of them, good Lord, you could be lost for days. Um, but that one was very simple to get around for the size, and we had a lot of fun, and it was crazy, and my mother-in-law had a good time too. But um, I don't know. I just think it's changed quite a bit too, because that was back in the day too, where you had to dress up, you had to bring your formal clothes. I mean, if it was a week long or longer, you brought your formal wear. Now,
Right.
me, I didn't mind it. We have to get dressed up sometimes because we do fundraisers and functions and stuff that we go to, and my husband's just kind of like, oh God, I have to wear
Mm,
a tux. I'm like, yes, you'll be all right. But I drag out the sequin dresses and stuff. I love putting on a sequin dress or something. It's we have fun. I think it's a fun thing to do. So I never minded it. I didn't mind getting all dressy and stuff. It was fun. I enjoyed it. So it is what it is. But some people really aren't into that. And nowadays you don't have to do that anymore. There's
yeah,
you
it's
don't
kind
have
of
to.
sad. It is kind of sad, but like I said the last time we talked about this, I'd just belly up to the buffet and leave me behind, and yeah.
Girl, last cruise I took, I think I gained 5 pounds. Ah,
A drink in one hand and a plate in the other. Park me
ah.
somewhere. I won't
And well,
trip up anybody.
the standing joke would be getting the elevator, and people are like cranky. The elevator's not moving fast enough. It's doing this, and the standing joke is, "Well, come on, guys, we have an 8 and 45 minutes. We're getting cranky, you
I'm
know."
starving.
So, and we always enjoyed. Now, the last cruise we took, I don't know. I do not think that there were midnight buffets per se, because hell, there's a buffet going on all the time. You didn't have to wait till midnight. But on some of the swankier ships, they made a big deal of that. They had the ice sculptures and they were lit up, and everybody just showed up at midnight and eating. But this last ship, we would just kind of go off and explore. We'd go
Right.
grab a drink. And now we were lucky. We had a beautiful room. I really enjoyed it. We had a balcony, so that was really nice. But we would take off and just kind of go walking around and see what there was to see. And goodness Lord, you just turn the corner and there's a buffet. It's like, whoa, damn. Wow, what deck are we on? you know, and we ended up being on the very aft part of the ship, and it was all glass. And there's a guy playing the grand piano back there, and we, of course, we are not huge drinkers, but we got the drink package because it made sense. And we're sitting there just enjoying our sippy little drinks and having a good time and watching the sea go by. So, that was a lot of fun. But you could actually tell, the captain was very helpful if you saw actually like any wildlife or whales or anything like that. The captain would come on and make an announcement. I swear you could feel the ship tilt. Everybody running to one side of the ship to the other to see. But it was amazing to me when we went down the inside passage. And it's water on both sides, of course, where you can see the land. And you would just be cruising along, and I am like, I felt bad for the people up on deck that, because we just sat on our balcony with a blanket, and just had
Right.
drinks and hot chocolate and did whatever, and watched it go by. And we didn't even have to move, because when that huge ship got down there, it just turned around. And I was just like, you could hear the engines. And we did learn a valuable lesson. You do not book too far front of the ship, because that anchor going down, well, oh my God, the first morning I heard that bastard, I was like, what the hell was that? And my husband's like, that's the anchor. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. But we knew better, so we were midship this last trip. But that
Mhm.
big boat just turns around, and there you just go down the other side. So we didn't even have to move.
Oh
We didn't have
my
to move.
God.
Yeah, so it was just like, cool. Now we're going to see the other side of what's going on. And he got to see the orcas. Of course, I didn't get to see the orcas, but I did get to see the humpbacks. So that was pretty cool. And they had a little one with them. Oh, it was so cute. I was like, oh,
Oh,
cute.
yeah, I got to
And
see a humpback in Hawaii. I was in Maui, went on a whale
oh,
watching thing, and I got to see that. That was like awesome.
it is. I mean, and I got to see a bear. And we were smart enough because we had not done Alaska before because it's very different. In the Caribbean, when you do a Caribbean cruise, you're up on deck and laying out in the sun. This is the first trip I ever took, to not take a bathing suit. Well, you took a bathing suit if you wanted to get in the hot tub or something like that, but um, you didn't. You were taking sweaters and hoodies and that kind of stuff, and that's my favorite season, anyways. So it was so fun. But boy, the higher up on those decks you go, the windier it is. So it's
A
just like,
sea bear.
yeah, oh my God, girl, I didn't even
Technically, she
try. I was
did
like,
see a
never mind it.
bear, so yeah.
And we went to one of the sporting good places, and we each got the little mini binoculars, and that worked out great. And we didn't spend a lot of money. I think we spent like $25 for just the little inexpensive ones. So we each had our own little set because we'd be fighting over them. We don't share that kind of stuff well. He'd be like, look, look, and I'd been having it around my neck, and he'd be like dragging me around, like, no, get your own. So, but I got to see a grizzly, which was cool, but I mean, it looked like a toy. Even with the binoculars, and the captain's like, "Oh, there's a grizzly over on the aft side," and it's like, "Oh wow." Well, not the aft. It was actually, I believe, where were we on the? We were on the starboard side, so it was on our side, the first
Mhm.
leg down. So yeah, it was the starboard side, and but I mean, they look so tiny. I mean, it's like, oh wow, but you could actually see me just walking along, no care in the world. I'm like, oh cool. And some of the ports we stopped in had, like sanctuaries, and we just missed the salmon run, which I really wanted to check that out because that would have been really cool. But we're taking a little trek through the a sea bear exactly. Um, we were taking a little trek through, like, it was like a wilderness type hike, and I've never seen anybody get so excited about poop. Our guide was like, yes, that's bear poop. And I said, well, that answers, and you know me, you guys, I'm a smart ass. I said, well, that I guess answers the questions. Do bears shit in the woods? Oh no.
Oh, were you
Everybody's
Rodney
laughing. And
Boo?
my husband's just like, oh God, here we go. The comedian's with us. But yeah, so everybody's snapping pictures of bear poop. It's like, oh my God, you guys. And of course, my husband has to take a stick and dig through it. What's he been eating? It's like, oh, geez, really?
Well,
So,
berries and
yep, there was berries in it because I mean you could see them. You
yeah.
could see the berries, and there was some other stuff in there, and I think there was actually a couple feathers or something. I was like, I don't even want to know. I don't want to know what it is. It's like, let's just move along. But so it was an experience I would never want to. I would love to do it again. Because like I said, we've done Caribbean tons of times, and that's, okay, it's fun and whatever. But I would much rather do the Alaska thing again because that was very cool,
Oh yeah, and
very
I
cool.
love salmon.
They had different theme nights as far as what they were going to be serving, and they had a surf and turf, and they actually had to where you could do. It was almost like an excursion to where they would take you out to an island. You had a bonfire, and they served salmon, and you had dinner and that kind of stuff. So that was really cool too. And we didn't do anything like that. We were gonna do the glacier helicopter thing, but at the last minute it was full, and we didn't get on. We were supposed to take the next one, and they canceled it because of weather. So I was like, oh, okay, whatever. What can you do? And which would have probably been okay with me. My husband's never been on a helicopter. I'm not very fond of helicopters. The way they ride, it just bothers me. So I was probably okay because I was
I've
taking one
never
for the
been on
team.
one. I've never been
It's
on one.
it's very creepy because when they lift off, they just lift off straight up. You're just like whoop, and you're off, and it's like, whoa, hey, nobody warned me about that. So and I was a kid too the last time, so I was like, I wasn't that impressed with it. So it's something I wouldn't volunteer to do again. But so yeah,
Oh,
it's
we
just
got
a fun
fish.
thing. And me, I can't go for just a couple of days. That would just piss me off.
Yeah,
So
yeah. How about a balloon? Like a hot air balloon.
No,
No,
I
is it a
no.
height thing?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, very much the height thing. Very much the height thing. Um, I never was bothered by heights before, and we were at a Fourth of July celebration in our city downtown having a good time, and the fireworks started going off, but we were in a parking garage because we were listening, we were having a concert, and so everybody of course stops and goes over and is looking out. Well, the opening between the floors, it was about waist high on me, and so I leaned out a little bit so I could turn and look up. Well,
Ooh.
yeah, and all of a sudden I looked down and we were like on the 8th floor, and that did it. I was good after that. I was freaking out, and of course,
Excuse me.
one of our friends was like pushing me a little bit, like, oh, are you scared? I'm like, don't go there. I'll beat your ass. And he's like, I'm terrible. I'm so mean. And I'm like, I will beat your ass. And he's like, what, are you scared? Are you scared? I'm like, don't go there with me. But ever since I looked down, it bothered me. So now and ever since then I've been afraid of heights. So
Isn't it funny that that one thing that you never bothered you before, and then it
yeah,
hits you right there?
yep, it
Me, it's
did.
bridges. I don't like bridges. I'd rather not cross the bridge. I can without making a fuss, but there's one bridge in the city here that is just a rust bucket,
Oh
but it
God.
gets you to the place where you want to go the fastest. I'm sure it's been inspected and it's fine, but it's just, and I'm going, yeah, no. And I close my eyes and I deep breathe and I'm just going, please, let's get through this without it collapsing.
That's a thing these days. I mean, damn, you
No.
just never know. And thank God you do not live in Washington State
Oh dear, that bad?
or Oregon. Yes, and their little bridges are like. We went out one year to see my brother, and they are like, they live in Vancouver, but it's right, Portland's right there, so that they're
Mhm.
very close together. And we're seeing all kinds of cool stuff, and we're going across this bridge, and I'm like, why are we like swaying? Oh, it's just the bridge. I'm like, you get my ass off of this
Excuse
bridge, fool.
me. Yeah, exactly. And swinging bridges too. No, 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 no,
No, no, no.
no.
Exactly. No, no, no.
I
No,
w-
no.
I
No.
was I was fine on bridges until I went across one of the bridges that lifts up to let ships through on a
Oh,
Oh,
motorcycle.
a
On a
drawbridge.
motorcycle, and
Oh,
realized that you can see through that part of
uh-huh.
the bridge that lifts up. Looked down, saw the water. That was it.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
when I
I'd be
started
right
not
there with
liking
you.
bridges.
Yes,
Hmm.
that would be, I would be right there with you, because the Eiffel Tower is that way. It's
Oh yeah.
it's like grates, and you get up there, and I didn't even get out of the elevator. I'm like, I'm
hmm.
good. I'm going
Yeah.
back. See ya. I looked at the kid. I'm like, when does this go back? And he goes, well, whenever anybody gets out. I'm like, good. I'm waiting.
I don't blame you.
I was freaking.
I
I
don't
was
blame
like
you.
tripping. I'm like, okay, I'm good. Nope, nope, nope. If I can see through it, I'm good. I don't want to go. No, you can't make me. I ain't doing it. I don't want to. I
Yep.
ain't gonna. I don't have to.
Oh
Uh-uh.
dear.
Nope. I'm a big baby. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. So what's shaking with you, Miss Jules?
Just taking care of mom and waiting for those
How
test
is
results, which
how is your
we
mom?
get next Wednesday. Oh, she's not doing too good. Poor thing. Her whole side of her face is a bruise from. They had to go in to do that aspiration biopsy through her cheek and
Oh,
Oh.
down into her carotid, and it's just like poor thing. She looks like somebody punched her in the face. Amber Heard should see
oh,
pictures, then she'd know what it
Mm,
looks like.
yep.
oh, no
And
doubt.
yeah, so it's just hard to see her like that. And then she's not been feeling well. So, but I
Oh, I'm
appreciate
so
all y'all.
sorry.
We're
Oh,
Well,
all
yeah,
going
we'll
through
definitely.
stuff.
Oh, yeah. I mean, hey, I mean, that's kind of life. I mean, we don't
Yeah,
want to, but we do. You got to keep putting one foot in front of the other. And,
that's
I'm
right.
one of the ones that, all my other siblings were, and that's okay. I understand. I get it. And I don't mean this to be disrespectful to my other siblings or anything, but it fell to me, and that was okay. I was fine with that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I am too.
I think
yeah,
we're all three have looked after uh, a dying parent or some such, and it's a real eye opener, isn't it?
It really
well,
is.
it
Yeah.
is.
Because I've
I
taken
helped
care
take.
of my great grandmother, my grandfather on my father's side,
Yeah.
and well, my nephew when he was up until he was 6 months old because my sister got really ill and had to go back in the hospital
Oh my.
and was up and down because of an infection. And she, we almost lost her. So yeah, and now mom. So yeah, we've all taken care of someone,
Mhm.
and it
Yep.
is an eye opener. And
And
you
it's
learn a
it's.
lot about how precious life is and how you should treat other people.
I agree with that. I mean, my mom, bless her heart, my pop passed away. I mean, it's been, oh my gosh, that was 95. So he's been gone quite some time. And my parents were married over 50 years when my father passed away. And we were just kind of going, okay, I mean, mom knew how to do stuff and everything, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but she was not the one that, that was back in the day where, the man ran the house, the man made the decisions, the man did everything. And without her, without dad, I was thinking, oh wow, this is not going to be, mom's probably not going to live very long. She lived 17 more years. I tell you.
Good for
And
her.
she was a pistol. She really was. I mean, God love her. I just love her to pieces. And she, that's probably, I don't know. I have part of my dad's Irish temper, and I have part of my mom's Italian temper, I'm sure. But it's one of them. It, mom, we were raised very, very Catholic, and you could think a word, and they'd be like, it must be written on your forehead at the time or something. Because like, what you do, what? And I'm like, I didn't say anything. I wasn't saying anything. And and plus we all have siblings and stuff, and we know how the sibling game goes too. It trickles down, the trickle down effect. One me, and I was closer to the lower end, being the youngers, and that's what we called ourselves, the youngers. And we're the younger ones, and we always pointed the finger at the bigger ones. Like, how would we do that, Dad? Come on. So it was up to them. So and then we got paid back later. But it was great. I loved having brothers. Because, anytime I see, the joke to where, you just point them out and we'll beat their ass. Because that's how we handled bullies back in the day. Your brother, nuh-uh. Nobody, you could do whatever. And your brothers would not let anything happen to you, but they would beat your ass.
That's right.
They would beat your ass. So yeah,
and sometimes your sisters.
Mine, it was hilarious. My husband thought, that I was ticklish. Oh no, stop, please. I mean, you can just look at him and he's ticklish. Me, they used to hold me down and tickle me till I peed.
Yes.
Yep. So nope. And you could do anything to me, and I'm just looking at you like, am I supposed to be reacting here or something? No.
That's funny.
I mean, you can't do that to me. I'll just sit there and laugh at you. I'm like, no, that ship sailed a long time ago. But sorry.
Well, no, it's true. It's true. I had a torturous older brother. The way our living room was set up, our TV was in the center of the room, and the couch was directly across from it. So he would have one end of the couch, put his feet up, and I would have the other end of the couch and had my feet up. And all of a sudden, feet wars would break out.
Oh yeah. Right.
So trying to kick somebody off the couch. And if it really got really bad, he would whip off his socks and tackle me and rub his dirty, smelly, stinky socks in my face. Yeah. Yep. So there's not a lot that grosses me out. If I had woken up, there was a 3-year age gap between us. So I used to suffer from nightmares when I was a child. And knowing my mother and father would just send me back to bed, I would go knock on his door and say, "Can I sleep with you?" So he would say, "Yeah,
Aw.
yeah, yeah." Oh, but there was a price to be paid.
There's a
And that was
catch.
usually, yes, and that was
Yes.
usually a coven where he trap me into the covers and flirt. So,
Oh no.
yeah.
Oh, hey, come on. They never outgrow that. I got one that still does that. And I'm like, now everybody knows
No.
why I keep a room spray next to my bed. Because nope, I'm doing that. Bless his heart. He just thinks that's the funniest thing ever. And then, like I said, what they say about the cop kids and the preacher kids are true.
Mhm.
Because we were sitting, and this was in a restaurant, mind you. Then these were grown ass adults, and we're sitting there with my in-laws, and we're sitting there, table full of people, and what are his two siblings that are sitting closest to him doing? Showing everybody what they're eating. They'll sit there chewing and open their mouths. I'm like,
Oh,
you guys,
yes.
knock it off.
Yes. Yes.
Hey,
And
nickname.
hey, Nick, hey. So
Nickers. How are
it
you?
was just, I'm like, oh my God, you guys, I can't believe you guys are doing this. We're grown here. Stop.
Wow.
Oh,
That
My
reminds me of
brother
that
used
scene
to
in
put
Big when Tom Hanks had the
oh.
food
yeah.
in his mouth and was going, "Ah, ah, ah, ah."
No,
And when he picks,
nothing gets you. This is why I don't eat Jello anymore or anything gelatin. Is my brother would sit across from me from the dinner table, and dinner time was sacrosanct. You sat at the table to eat,
Yes,
and he'd have
we
his
did
big
too.
bowl of Jello for dessert, and he would just look at me and push it through his teeth, so just oh Jesus.
Ooh.
Ugh.
we used to put Jello on the slip and slide in the summer.
Oh.
That's funny.
Yes, we were those people. I didn't care. Mom would be like, "Where's my Jello?" And I was like, "I don't know. It
I know we
disappeared."
got silly and put sunlight dishwashing liquid on it and almost broke our necks. It got too slippery then.
Oh no, that's classic.
I
I
mean, I
love
hit the
it.
back of my head. That's probably what's wrong with me one time.
Oh.
That explains so much.
Oh.
Oh no. Oh my God. Because the shit we pull now. I mean, we just sit back and I'm amazed that we lived. I mean, some of the crap we pulled. I mean, my one brother would get us all in the car, and oh God, he would drive and he would just be insane. We lived like on a longer street, and then there was a main busier street, and he'd just get to one part of the street and then just floor it and just go flying across. And that was like,
Oh
oh
my
my God,
goodness.
what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm telling mom, I'm telling. And then you got put up front. You were like
Then
Ooh.
you were
you're
the
like
shield.
you're stuck on the dash. You're going, yeah, okay, go ahead, tell mom if you live. Like,
That's
thanks.
right.
But we did all the stuff that the boys did. We'd be climbing trees and doing, I mean, come on. And it was more fun being a tomboy than a girl. So,
Oh,
come on.
definitely. All I had to play with in the neighborhood were boys, so I was a tomboy, or else I wouldn't have survived.
That was pretty much my neighborhood too, except at school. Then I had girlfriends, but the neighborhood was pretty much male dominated. So you just went with it, or you didn't.
Yeah, oh,
Exactly.
true. Yeah.
Well,
And
I was glad because I mean I can still build my own bicycle. I learned a lot from doing
And
stuff
I
with
can build a
all the
fire.
guys. Hmm.
yep.
I tell you
Yep.
what,
Oh, yeah.
you're talking about crazy driving. My cousin, I have a lot of older cousins. Had a lot of older cousins, and our family, like I've told y'all, our extended family is huge. Like there's still 50 some of us, but one of my older cousins would drive the Jeep down the beach, and I mean we would be hanging off of it literally because not everyone could fit inside of it. And we'd have feet on the running boards holding onto the roll bar, and he'd just fly down the beach. Well, he'd hit ruts and little streams and stuff, and we'd fly off. He'd pick us up on the way back. And our mothers would have just died if they'd known we were all down there doing all that, flying away up in the air off of a moving Jeep and stuff. We would take our skateboards. There was a hill that went down to the private beach, and we would take our skateboards and ride them down that dang hill and run into the trees at the bottom. I mean, they would have had heart attacks.
Oh, God. Let me see. I broke my arm one time tubing behind a Jeep in the snow. Yeah, by the time they said, look out for that mailbox, it was a little too late.
Wham!
Remember as kids, those sort of the, I can't remember what they called, but they were these plastic things you attached to your boots, and you could sort of skate, I guess. It was like what are those? Crazy carpet for your feet. They were hard molded plastic, and you just laced them over your boot.
Oh, I'll be right back. Someone's at the door.
Yeah. And we would wait for a car to come slowly by because our winters were, you just drive very slowly, and we'd catch on to the bumpers, and we'd surf down the neighborhood street. So
kind of like Marty McFly, only with snow.
Pretty much with these. I cannot remember the name of them, but they were a hard molded plastic, and they fit over your boot and came up, I think, up your calf, and you could lace them up, and you just, I don't know, maybe it was just a Canadian thing.
I think so, because we didn't have anything like that. The only thing that got us banned from doing stuff in the house was I don't know, and whoever invented this, good Lord, they were like hard plastic balls on a string.
Oh,
and yes, and you could shape those. Well, those busted really easy.
Yeah.
And, oh man, we almost beamed Mom one time, busted a lamp. I was like, and she's like, all right. And it's like, oh, hell, okay. So we weren't allowed to have those in the house anymore. Oh, okay.
Why not? But I know that old Saturday Night Live skit where it was the Christmas episode, and they were doing that toy review. Do you remember that? And it was like a bag of glass, a broken glass, and never mind. It was. I'll have to.
Well, I'm trying to remember, because I mean, yeah, nowadays, one of my favorite memes is I remember Saturday Night Live when it was funny.
Yeah. I don't watch it anymore. I haven't for years.
No, I haven't either. It's too political now. They got to politicize everything. Now you can't even.
I'm back. Yeah, that's terrible.
Welcome back, sweet. Okay. Yeah, you can't. Annie Janney said they called those duck shoes.
Okay. But you know what I mean, right, Annie? That just fit on your boot and off you went. Okay. So anyway, moving it along. So there has been some crazy shit being said and spread, and I wanted to know if anybody wanted to address anything specific.
Well, the only thing I don't have too awful much to say about it, except for, again, I don't know people personally. I have to be thankful that Deborah came in and said something, because, contrary to popular belief, if I don't know you personally, how am I going to know what your dog looks like, what your grandma looks like, what your mama looks like? I don't know. So I'm glad that she came in and said, hey, this is what's going on. And it was taken care of right away. Nobody has to get all, whatever. And again, that's just it. This is what the trolls do. You can't punish everyone because there's a troll coming around. You have to starve them for one. And if you just acknowledge, then it's just not going to, it's not going to go away.
Yeah, I would like to say something about Deborah. I did not mean to sound insensitive. I believe it was last night when she came in to talk about that. I did not mean to sound insensitive. I was a little upset at the time, but I think I explained to her that, I was sorry that that happened to her and that it is inappropriate and no one should steal pictures and no one should pretend to be someone else. But I just want to make that clear. I don't believe in that. I don't condone it. I certainly don't do it. And, if people want to keep blaming me and saying I'm all these trolls, that's just fine. That's just words coming out of their mouth. Because I know in my heart, and God knows, I am not those trolls.
Exactly.
Give me a little bit of background on what happened because
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Cassie.
So late that I go to bed. I'm old.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, hon. Yeah, I'll be glad to. Deborah came in and she was talking about some troll was using her disabled. I believe it was her nephew picture as their profile picture, and of course that upset her. So
of course, yeah,
she came in to say something, and at the time I was a little upset, and so I didn't mean to sound insensitive if I did, but I told her that we're all going through that. It's not just her, but I think it came across as me being snippy, but I wanted her to know that it's not just happening to her, it's happening to us too, and then we're getting blamed for it. But it's the other side that she stays on that's behind most of what's going on. And that's what I was trying to get across, right? But Kathy, I was a little emotional, so I didn't want Deborah to think I was being insensitive to her. But you all know me, so I wasn't being insensitive. But I just wanted to make that clear. If Deborah's listening,
she's here. She's in the chat. Here. Yeah, she's in the chat.
Come up, I can give you.
Okay. Well, hey, Deborah.
Yeah, I totally understand that frustration because we are all going through it, and I don't. Somebody said something the other day that I tuned in and listened to a little bit of the other creator, and they were like, "Well, you ought to know who that is." No, I don't. And they were talking about MT. I've never doxed his children. I would never condone doxing his children.
No.
All I've ever said was you have beautiful children. Other than that, I've never said anything about his children. It's trolls doing it. Now, I don't know who they are. They don't know who they are. So everybody needs to step off this stuff, that pointing fingers that, well, they're all over there and I'm going to harass you and harass your supporters and dox them. Well, that's really shitty to do. Okay, that's my opinion, and I'm entitled to my opinion. And I just wish that more people would come in like Deborah did and tell us
exactly.
I don't read minds. I don't know who anybody else is. The pictures are so minuscule to me, I can't hardly see them. I mean, all I can tell in Nickname's photo is it's yellow, but I know it's a flower, so I know that. But other than that, that's the whole point. They want to stir stuff up to everybody. That's their job. That's what trolls do. They cause havoc.
And that was early on when I started live streaming, and Heather Waller would show up. I don't know who this person was.
I didn't either.
No, and somebody would say that Krista person would say that's a troll. That's a troll. I don't know. That's a troll.
Exactly.
They're being perfectly reasonable in chat. They're not like, and I'm trolling in the truer sense of it. So I had no reason to ban this person. I don't know you either, Krista. So why would I take your word for it? So, but she turned out to be crappy anyway. So I'm glad I stuck to my guns about it. But as more information came up, and who would this person probably was. I could be more cautious when dealing with them. But unless somebody does something egregious in chat, I'm going to let it go.
Exactly.
I'm
Exactly.
not going to take
Right.
what they
Yeah, because
tell me verbatim, and that's the absolute truth. Like some people I know on other chats that listen to trolls and not their friends, and we all know who
exactly.
I'm talking about.
Yes, I do.
No
Yeah,
comment.
because I'm more of an observer than anything else, and I make up my own mind. You know, Sometimes I'm wrong. I often am, but it's got to be on me and nobody else. And
Well, exactly. And again, you know, it's the generalization. It's all of them over there. It's all of them over there. No, it's not. It's not all of anybody. I mean, if you want to tell me I'm lying, fine. Prove I'm lying. Prove I'm a troll because I'm not. That's just it. That all they have are innuendos and hearsay about everybody. They want to point the fingers. Well, it's you. It's you. It's you. Well, no, it's not. And if you want to keep pointing fingers, fine, but prove it first. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, I'll
it was
say it
handled.
before. Excuse me, sorry, Katie. I'll say it
No, it's right.
before and I'll say it again. Unless you have subpoenaed records from Google who owns YouTube and you have proof that somebody is behind an account, what comes out of your mouth is just total hogwash.
yeah,
You don't know who's behind. People mimic other people.
They
It's not
do.
hard to do if you've watched
No, it's
people for a
not.
while.
No, it's
It's not
not.
hard to do at all.
No,
So,
it's
and I've
not.
been mimicked. So it's just
I think we all
ridiculous.
have.
Well,
We
we
all
all have.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, I was going
exactly.
to say, we all have. People have pretended to be all of us.
Yep. And it is frustrating. I understand, after a while, you want to address it, and then you're damned if you do address it, and then
You're damned if you don't.
like the other night, nobody was happy. They're still going off and saying shit, and it's just like, you know what? It was handled. It was taken care of. I appreciate that Deborah came and told us, because if people
Exactly. I
don't
do
come and
too.
tell me, I'm not going to know, and it's going to be handled right away. And that's why I said what I said when the one came in. I'm not even going to give them the glory. When they came in, I knew ahead of time, because that last name I did know. It was familiar to me. Now, whether it's really them or not, who knows? I could say my last name is Butternut. Who knows?
Hmm.
But supposedly that was the last name. I told them, nope, it's not going to fly in here. You need to change your name. So nothing really else was done about it. And I'm the one that took care of it. I took them out, told them they got timed out, and they were welcome to come back if they changed their name and their attitude. Because like you said, if they're
Exactly.
coming in and chatting and being a nice human being, that's fine. I don't have a problem with it. But if you're going to start coming in and doxing and doing that kind of stuff, we're going to have something to say about it. So,
Yes.
and and it is, everybody else can have an opinion. This is my opinion only. It's not Jules's opinion. It's not Kathy's opinion. It's my opinion. So, people have, people have been doxxed, and, nobody has doxed anybody's children. It just really does frustrate me when, all the fingers get pointed and pointed, because it's a deflection is what it is.
Well, I know for a fact that I have never doxed anyone. And a certain someone likes to say that during her live streams, but I have never done it. And people who know me know that I'm not that kind of person. So I really don't care if she says it a million more times.
Right.
Some people
And I
just
don't blame you, honey.
some people will go to any length to hurt someone else. And they just wind up making an ass of themselves.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Anybody
Exactly.
who doesn't know me, I actually don't care what they think about me. I don't. I
No,
don't
nor
care
should I. Never did.
what certain people say about me. I don't care.
No,
It's not going to affect my life. And if people
no,
stop talking to me because of something someone else says, that's on them, not me.
exactly, Jules.
Their loss. That's what I'll
I
say. That's
agree.
their loss. Because I know daggone well that I am a very good person and I have a big heart. And I'm not bragging about myself, but you all know because I know you are all the same way. That's why we all get along. That's why God brought all of us together, because
think
we're like-minded and like-hearted people. We are not the bad
Exactly.
guys here. We are not the bad guys
never
here.
were, but it was
Never
pinned
were,
on us
exactly.
because we tried to do something that we shouldn't have done. We should have minded our own business. But being good-hearted people, we decided to take a chance and got backstabbed for it
Oh,
and
oh yeah,
lied
exactly.
about. And it's just I'm done. Sorry, I'm the charity shop has closed.
That's true, Kathy. That's true.
Yeah,
And it's sad too because you know all the communities could get along just fine. But there's a few bad apples in some of these communities, and I'm totally good. When I walked away, I walked away. I didn't have hard feelings. I even told somebody behind the scenes who I was still quite amicable with at the time that I don't plan on having any kind of issues. I just needed to walk away because I'm not going to get heat for stuff I never did. And so
hallelujah. Yeah.
that's fine. And people can do whatever, they can say whatever, they can say it was over this, they can say whatever, it was over that. The people that know me behind the scenes know exactly what happened, know exactly what was over, and that's fine. But for people to go around and say that they are going to punish other supporters of other communities because of XYZ, with no proof, that frightens me because one thing that people aren't taking into account is there's crazies. We all know that. So we see on YouTube every day the crazies. We get it. But what if one of these crazies decided to go ahead and take it in real life and to impress a creator? I'll take care of their trolls for them.
Well, it is happening, Kate, especially in the commentary community, the blood sport community. They are meeting up in real life, like that Ethan Ralph shit that's been going on. I don't know if you follow that.
It's
Sadly, I
dangerous
know it
The
is
to throw
guy
it.
dangerous.
the guy
Unfounded
literally
accusations.
flew to Portugal to beat, oh, what's that? I don't know his name, Warski up. What is his first name? I forgot.
Andy.
Andy Worski, yeah. And I'm going, what the fuck is wrong with you? you know, because if you go and listen to any of that crap, they just call each other names. There's nothing
Oh,
solved,
exactly.
never was.
Yeah.
I would thought going in it was a debate community. I think maybe it probably started out, and then all of a sudden everybody's calling themselves names of, and I'm just going, yeah, I'm tapping out.
Well, yeah, because those guys, some of those guys, and sadly, I know all too well about some of that community. So bummer, but I do. They're crazy, and you never know what somebody is going to do to try to impress someone, to try to, you know, it scares me that what people really are capable of. So when they say they're going to dox and do all this other stuff to other supporters just because a troll is trolling them, that's
Yeah.
insane to me. I'm sorry, but it is. I mean, come on. Yeah, again, prove it. Please prove it. I will give anybody millions of dollars to prove that I'm doing something inappropriate. Dig for it. Show me. Show it's me. But I'm not going to admit to stuff I don't do.
Well, yeah, and the fact that they throw out the chomo to anybody that might be affected by such an accusation, I'm going, you have used that so many times that it's losing its impact on people. Now it's just becoming an insult and not an actual crime committed upon a child.
Well, yeah,
So
it
I'm
is
starting, there are people in our community that have been legit arrested and
victimized.
charged with it.
Yeah.
And we've got other people co-signing them. Oh, that's not really, they're changed. They did their time.
Right.
It's
No.
not. It's not petty
No.
theft. These are crimes against a child. They don't go away. The impact doesn't go away of the victim. So
Right.
yeah, so I get frustrated and angry, and I want to take everybody by their collar and shake them, just
Well,
smack
yeah,
them around.
well, it is, and I have to say something that Freddie said here. That he said he's seen some serious drama on the candle community videos. Trust me, Freddie, when I tell you to go to where some of the Bath and Body Works test stores are. People will drive hours and hours and hours and hours to get these test candles, and this was years ago because now they do it differently now. They still have testing stores, yes, but not like what it used to be. They would only release these certain candles that they had tested within the community. Well, people would drive, and I mean, they would be showing their trunks full of these candles because they will come back and sell these candles. Some of these test candles, back in the day, a Bath and Body 3-wick candle was like $10.
Mhm.
They'd go on sale
Yeah.
for 15, 10 or $50. People would pay, and you can go to eBay and they will pay $50, $100 for one of these 3-wick candles
No.
for one. For one.
No.
And I'm like, y'all are stoned. I mean, damn. Wait a few months and it'll come out again. Name something else, y'all. Damn.
Well,
You know.
I just put up Deborah's comment about crafting community. And I'm going, are you serious? There's
Yeah.
crafting wars? Oh, jeez. Okay.
Oh God, yes. You don't stand in one of some of these ways of these ladies and their candles, honey. They'll run you down. They will do whatever for wax. It's like,
Oh
damn.
my
I
God.
mean, y'all know I love my wax, but I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be putting out hits on people to get a candle. I mean, and that they're vicious. They can be vicious. So I mean, he might be kidding, but I'm not. You'd be, yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
I knew the
yeah.
gamers could get right violent, but I had no idea the waxers could.
Girl, whoo. I mean, I've been to Candle Day sales, and and just a heads up, semi-annual's getting ready to start. And
Lord love a duck.
I know all about that. But anyways, every year they do a Candle Day sale. It's the first weekend of December, usually the Saturday, and people line up. I went in one time, and I think I still even have a thing of it. Yeah, I did get preferential treatment because of what I spent. And, hey, I call ahead. Like, this is what I want. I walk in, I'm shopping. The girl brings out the cart. I'm sorry, I'm embarrassed, but, she brings out the cart with my order on it. And people are like, wow. And she's like, we got you all set down here, Kate. I'm like, thanks. I go down there, whip my pay out, and I'm walking out with my husband waiting there with the trunk open, with my 50 candles. That was now, again, that was back in the day. Cut me a break. I'm not that crazy no more. I still got half of them upstairs. But, that's the joy of it. Those don't go bad. So,
Oh my God.
yeah, they do. And they'll fight over cups. Like, she ain't lying. They'll fight over everything. They don't care. But,
Maybe I'll just stay home still and isolate and oh.
Well, I haven't been inside a brick and mortar Bath and Body, but maybe twice since the pandemic started. And I'm just not going to do it. It's not worth it to me. That's a very visual experience. You go in, you want to smell stuff, you want to look at it, you want to try it. And well, in the very beginning of the pandemic, when they were not even open, that you could only do online, they were only letting certain, how many people in the store at a time. It was ridiculous. But then you went in, they didn't have any testers out. And it's just like, guys, how am I supposed to smell it? Well, our policy. If
Exactly.
you don't like it, Kate, you can just bring it back. I'm like, fine. But that just makes more work for me, y'all. So no.
Right.
I'll sit home. order the shit online like I always do, then get it, and if I don't like it, then I'll bring it back.
That's right.
So it is what it is.
Judy!
I'm not gonna, hey. But oh, look at little Freddie. He's got a box of candles. Bless you, sweetie. Oh, bless you.
What
Oh
kind of
no.
candles? Because it matters.
Oh, well, yeah, do tell. I mean,
Because you could be sitting on a little fortune, or you could be sitting on a bunch of dollar store candles.
and that still cracks me up. At one point, it came out
Excuse
that if you have a Walmart, now these are not in with the regular candles at Walmart, but they're back over in like the household section. At least they used to be. A couple years ago, that's where they were.
Mm-hmm.
They're 3 wicks, and they're like $6. It's cheapo stuff, really cheap. And people were yapping about that. Well, now, and I had people that were such diehards with Bath and Body that look up Life Inside the Page. She's another, I don't know if she's still around or not, but Teresa, boy, she's something else. She was one of their influencers that knew, about new products coming up. There are people that actually stalk the patents to find out what Bath and Body Works is patenting next as far as fragrance names and that kind of stuff.
Oh.
I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I'm sorry, I'm not going to go to that lengths. I'll just wait till it hits the store and go, cool. Hi, Nova.
And Jenny, I didn't say hi. I saw you flash by.
I'm sorry, I didn't see Jenny either. Hi, sweetie.
Listen,
but
oh, I'm sorry, Kate. Finish up.
Oh, no. I was just saying, I mean, that's crazy. I'm not going to be stalking anybody's sites for patents and stuff. I mean, geez.
Let me tell you something funny.
I just wanted to address Daria's comment there. Someone's obsession with Jules is concerning. I saw upcoming live, and I'm a little confused by it. I know Jules and I have had a little talk about it in DM, but it's a little weird, isn't it?
It is. I mean, I just, it's sad to me. It's sad because again, what's going to be the point of that? I mean, come on, I just am flabbergasted. That's one thing I don't understand. If you don't like what's going on in somewhere else, they all are so upset of like, well, who cares? Who cares if she lied about this? Who cared if she lied about that? Well, you guys are doing the same thing. Who cares?
But
they all want to say,
what did Jules do to you that you would do that to somebody? I mean, did she sleep with your husband? Did she steal money from you? Did she get you fired from your job? Explain. I would love an explanation to what motivates somebody.
You know how many
in your soul would put
how many ex-friends I have on YouTube? One.
I have a feeling I know who it is.
One.
I'm sorry.
Apparently.
And again, it's, the thing that just, it hurt my heart. And people, they don't want to believe that, but it really did because, we were all friends. We were all good friends for many years, for years. And to see some of the stuff that's going on now, it hurts my heart. It truly does.
That was my fault. That was my fault. I clicked the wrong thing. Try again.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it just is, it hurts me to hear because, sure, we all have behaved badly. I get that. But if I've lied about something, I'd sure like to know what it was, because I don't get on here and have a filthy mouth and start calling people names and threatening to take things in their real life, because we all know who that is. We don't even have to put that out. We all know who that is. And that's fine because, she thinks that she's all big shit and stuff. Well, no, honey, you're not. So again, to me, it's integrity. And, sure, we had some fun. Granted, when she, was faked the death and everything, we truly were trying to help somebody out because, they were upset. There were a few people that were upset. And again,
And
that's
Annie
that's
J was
how it
one of
got.
them.
Right, exactly. Exactly. And I'm not trying to dredge up old shit and stuff, but they still bring that stuff up. Come on. And it was, again, how do you dox somebody who's dead? I mean, I was kind of like floored by that one. So I'm like, wait a minute. But again, nobody wants anybody to wish anybody harm on anyone. But when you're over there, as a creator, I think you have a responsibility to nip rumor in the bud, to not keep rumors going, not to keep the stuff going. But that's not what goes on. That's not the reality of it, because we all know the reality of it is, sure, people want views. I don't blame them. People, that's what they want. It's some people, this is a business, so they do want the views, but they have to walk a very, very fine line about how they're getting some of these views.
Yeah,
And
because you have to keep it up.
exactly. And for somebody to say, and again, I said this earlier, for someone to say they're going after somebody else's supporters to make them pay the price because some of their supporters are, somebody's using their picture or their name or just whatever. And, our clones have been over there. Our
Yes.
trolls have been over there saying stuff. So how come that was allowed? So I'm just saying, I don't condone that either. None of us do. But for somebody, I was floored that somebody that I really thought I knew well would say something like that she's going to punish other people and dox them for something someone else was doing that we don't even know who it is.
She's not the same person I cared about. That's all I'm going to say. Not the same person at all.
I agree, Jules. I do. And I don't have anything bad to say really about anybody, but it just hurts my heart. It really does. And people are just, oh, well, it truly does. It hurts my heart that, stuff is allowed to be said like that, to where, and people in the chat just are okay with that.
Yeah.
That's how I'm just like, what? How could you be okay with this? And again, I'm not going to say anything else. It's, I've said enough, and it is my opinion. But I think, people need to take a step back, because you don't realize what you could be asking people to do, because they just
Because you
might.
don't. Yeah, yeah. I mean, every rotten YouTuber on YouTube has their core. I hate to say fan base, but the core group of people that support everything they do and say.
Yeah,
MFW had hers, and
yeah.
Negs has got his core group, even though he's an all level crazy. But
I
he's
listened
he's
to that,
got
by
his
the
hug
way,
box.
Kathy.
Everybody's got their hug box, and some hug boxes are more toxic than other hug boxes. you
I
know,
guess so. I guess
yeah,
so. And I don't understand it. I
I
really
don't
don't
either. I don't either.
understand it.
I don't stan anyone. I regularly leave communities that don't offer me anything anymore, or have changed tactics, or
Mm,
done something that I don't, but I don't make a big deal out of it. It's
no,
just that YouTube is not an airport. I don't need to announce my departure. So, and I don't expect anybody else to either. So if I don't offer you what you want, I'm sorry. Good luck, and have a nice day.
right, right.
Because I have
Yeah,
been
I'm
on
just
YouTube for many, 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 many years, and I still don't have 500 subs. I'm not out there begging for it.
right.
I
It's not
don't
about that.
promote
Yeah,
my videos on Twitter. I don't have an Instagram. I don't use my Facebook anymore. I'm just here. If you like my content, sign up. But other than that, just listen in. It's okay. I'm not
Sure.
thirsty that way.
Exactly. And, other people claim that they're not either, but clearly,
Well,
and I know, I'm sure we're going to hear the part to where, see, they just can't go and have a fun stream. Yeah, we were, but some of this stuff does need to be addressed, in my opinion.
yeah. Yeah, and
And
admittedly, a lot of people are here for the drama, and I'm happy to provide sometimes, but I hope not all the time.
well, sure, because we do have fun. We do come here to have fun, and today's been a lot of fun. But I did just want to address that we don't know who these trolls are.
Hmm.
I mean, a lot of us, I'd call them out if I knew who you were. Because, like I said, when the one came in yesterday with the last name, I'm like, nope, that's not going to fly. And, if I saw someone that, again, I have to know you first. And I don't know anybody to know what their kid's name is or what their kids' pictures look like. I'm sorry. I can't remember what I had for dinner on Monday. And y'all want me to remember all your kids' names and whatever when I was never privy to them to begin with.
And surnames, I don't know half of
No.
anybody's surnames. I wouldn't know if the troll was using their like
Real
legal
name?
name or their. I
Right.
mean, it's not my fault if they come in here and I don't know. If I
Well,
know, yeah,
exactly.
they can leave or change it or leave.
Right.
But I don't
And
know.
I don't. And that's my whole point, Jules. I don't
Right,
know.
huh?
And that's why I was so happy when Deborah came in and said, "Hey, this is what's going on." And and that wasn't the first time she came in. She had come in the other day as well and said something. And because somebody was, I think, using her picture at the time. And again, I wouldn't have known unless you tell me. So I'm glad that they come in and say something and tell us, because that way we know.
Mhm.
And like I said yesterday, I said, nope, the name's got to get changed. You're welcome to chat here, but you can't use that name.
Right.
It's not right. Now, granted, there might be, 100 people with that name. Who knows? Because I'm sure that's not the only person on the planet to have that name. But again, and there's a very fine line about exactly what doxing is. And to me, doxing is information that's released that is not readily found on the platform that you're in. Now, if you can't go and look at somebody's about section and there it is, then using their full name and their picture, that is a dox to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, when you start putting out information like addresses or street names and
Mhm.
that kind of stuff, yeah, absolutely, that's definitely a dox. And if I saw anything like that, I'd be reporting it. I wouldn't just be deleting it, I'd be reporting it too. Because a long time ago, someone who was very, very nasty, and she's still around, here, and we all know who it is. They took away somebody else's channels over all this stuff. Well, they were doing this, they were doing that. No, I still have the screenshots of it, and I was looking back at some of them that I had to buy more storage, y'all. Jesus Christ, help me. God, I'm like, freak. No, I spent hours deleting stuff and it still didn't matter. I still had to buy storage. But so I was looking at some other things and I see some of this stuff and it's just like, look, this wasn't anybody we knew. They weren't names that were familiar to me, and it was none of us. They were trolling her because that's what the trolls do.
Yes.
That's what they do. This is what they want. They want to cause the strife. They want to cause the discomfort. They want to, be in the center of things, and they want to start the shit. Well, they're being very successful, but they have to understand that was none of us doing it. So what does she do? She claims falsely that was Candy doing it, that it was other people doing it. No, it wasn't. It was a troll. I still have the screenshots from it. And it wasn't anybody I recognized. Now, I've seen the name pop up a couple times since then. So yes, it's a troll. And, I'm just floored that what these people come in and say and want to blame other people for it when there's absolutely zero proof of it. Now, some of the other stuff that's gone on recently, and I'm not going to get into that, there is proof. There is proof. So, that needs to get knocked off. And
there might be a massive DM dump coming soon, if this continues.
Well, yeah, exactly. And it's ridiculous. So you cannot go around without proof and point your finger and say, you are this troll, you are that troll, you are responsible for these videos, when nobody knows who it is. Nobody does. So how can, we all have our ideas, and we think to ourselves, hey, and we might be right, but we may not be right. So you don't have a right to go around saying that this is who this is and this is who that is. Because like I said, people will take shit into real life. And that frightens me. Now, I'm not worried about that. I know other people aren't worried about that. But, you never know what somebody's going to do to try to impress someone, to try to, garner their respect. You never know these days. I mean, we have shootings right and left. Here, people should be looking at those beautiful faces of those babies that just lost their lives at 10 years old, and the little ones that survived that. Can you imagine being told now it's time for you to die, being a 10-year-old child and watching your friends get shot and killed? That shit should never happen.
No.
So, I mean, that's the shit we should be worried about. And that's the shit we should all be rallying around.
And the reason behind the boy's misery and why he did that? He was bullied.
Yep, that's what I was getting ready to say. Yeah. Not surprised. I'm not surprised. But, and I know everybody, and I'm not going to get into this either because, I come from a long line of law enforcement, and I'm not going to get into the debate with people. But, I'll just throw you out a little scenario here. And this hasn't happened to me, but it happened to a friend of mine. Now, let's just have a wonderful conversation here that, what if you're in a supermarket shopping along, just minding your own business, and this just happened not too long ago, to where some crazy maniac busted into a grocery store and shot and killed people. But who would you rather have in the grocery store? Me standing there with a gun that I'm accessed to, that I can get to, and I'm going to end this or die trying, because that's what I would do. If I was in a grocery store and I had my gun on me, because I'm a law-abiding citizen. If it tells me at the mall, I don't take my gun into the mall because I'm not supposed to. It tells me. I'm a law-abiding citizen. Do you think the criminals are going to mind the sign that says no guns allowed? No, they don't. They're going to do what they want to do because they're criminals, folks. So, would you rather have me in the grocery store I would risk my life if I see people getting shot and I've got a gun? I'm going to do whatever I can to take you out, even if it costs me my life. So who do you want in the store? Unarmed people standing there with a thumb up their ass going, damn, I wish I had my gun. Or somebody that does have a gun and is going to be balls and use it.
It'd be something to think about for sure. Now you remember who you're talking to, somebody that lives in a country with gun control. So it's a scenario that doesn't pop up.
Right. And in my state, we had to go through, tons of gun checks. We had to be fingerprinted. We had to be interviewed. You know,
Yeah.
you don't just get handed a gun. So I'm all for reform. We absolutely do not need automatic weapons. We don't. The
And I'm
military
glad you
does.
said
We
that
don't.
because, yeah, that's exactly why. Why would you, other than as an extension to your penis, male or female, figuratively speaking, why would you need that? Are you
Right.
expecting zombies?
Exactly. Because you don't need assault weapons. I'll never
Yeah.
forget this. One of the first instances, and they had a chance. We were just talking about this the other day too. It was a long time ago, and I believe it was in California. I think the guys were to rob a bank, and they all went. They were in the body armor. They had metal piercing bullets. So when they
Whoa.
were shooting, they got caught and they were shooting. They got into big gun battles with the cops,
Wow.
and
Oh, I
the cops,
remember that. Yes, yes.
yes, and the cops were outmanned. They did not have the equipment to go up against these guys. Now that's when they should have took a firm stand right then and there. This is where the reform needs to happen because right now it's almost too late. The guns are out there. Like I said, the people that are at risk are the law-abiding citizens that don't break the law. We're the ones that sit back and go, okay, yep, I'm not supposed to bring my gun. I leave my gun secured. And but the criminals don't care about the law. They don't give a shit. They're going to break the law. That's why they're criminals. So, there's no need for assault weapons, and they should have taken care of it right back then. Only the military and the police need that. We don't
Mhm.
need you don't use an an AR. God, I can't even talk. You don't use an AR-15 for home defense. And they're fun weapons to shoot. There's nothing wrong with owning one or having one, but you need to take it to a gun place. And because here we have gun ranges right in town. You just go and when I bought one of my new little handguns, I didn't know how to shoot it, and I'm like, I'm not so sure about if I like this gun or not. And before I went and I rented one and tried it at the gun range, and I found, nope, this is not one I like. So
Mhm.
that's when, I understand the sport of it. So, I mean,
Well,
we
I
all
do
go out
too.
and we have
Uh,
fun and we go out to the farm and do it. That's all fun. But you don't
mhm.
need that kind of weapon. Who needs, metal piercing bullets?
Mhm.
You don't.
Mm-hmm.
The
You know when
military
the
and police.
last Australia doesn't play. Do you know when the last mass shooting in Australia was?
I don't think ever.
1996. Since 1991, they've had 6 school shootings. They had 3 deaths, one in one, two in another, and 4 of those school shootings had 0 deaths. They
Right.
don't play with their gun laws.
Yeah.
No, they
No,
don't.
it's
They
it's
don't.
not a thing here either. We did have one. It was a country school that I think were imitating the Columbine thing. Um, so yeah, the crimes by gun statistically is low, but our population is low too. Compared to the states, I think we have the population to the whole of Canada to Southern California.
Right.
So yeah, so you'd have to Google up the crime statistics. There are gun crimes, but they are done by criminals. They're not done by the neighborhood guy that got in an argument with his wife and shot her or anything like that. That's so rare. I couldn't even give you even um, an idea. So
Right.
yes, it's yeah. So I'm not against guns. I'm against those type of guns. There's no reason for it.
Exactly.
You don't
No,
take
there's
that
not.
out hunting for food.
No.
You
Nope.
don't,
Nope.
you're not using one of those, or you shouldn't be using one of those to protect your property if it comes
Uh,
to that.
No, that would be my last choice of a shotgun because, again,
Yeah.
if you want to try to, a shotgun is specifically in a shell that disperses pellets. So you don't want to try to do that at close range with home defense. You're going to end up shooting one of your pets, or worse, somebody else that you don't
Mhm.
mean to shoot. And that's one thing people don't think in advance. I don't know, I just don't get it, because there are certain circumstances that would have proved, and I hate to use this as an example, but, and again, a lot of stuff that's happened has happened in the great state of Texas. Not that I have anything against Texas, it's a beautiful state, but everything's bigger and badder in Texas, y'all, come on. And they have the biggest, baddest records too, because one of the first things they ever had was, and I'll never forget this one gal, and her name escapes me at the moment, which I'm ashamed of myself. She went just to go have an ordinary lunch one day at a Luby's Cafe in Texas. And everybody's in there enjoying their lunch. Some guy drives his truck into the restaurant, and people are running to his aid thinking, oh my gosh, the man must have had a heart attack. He's crashed into the restaurant. Let's go help him. And he gets out and starts killing people. And there was a gal there. Her gun was in her purse out in the car. And she lost both of her parents that day.
Wow.
Oh my.
And she was one of the first people to lobby for gun rights. I believe now she is in one of the political arenas now. I don't know if she's a senator or a representative. I'm not really sure, but she made a lot of changes because she said, what if I could have made a difference? What if I could have stopped this? All because if I had had my gun.
Oh, you can't live your life thinking like that, though.
I know, but she has a good point. And that's what she lobbied for, was to be able to conceal and carry. And I know that makes people nervous, but you have to. I mean, I've had my heart stop a couple times. Now, I don't carry my weapon with me all the time. I just don't. But I understand the people. I know some people that do. I've got girlfriends that got the bra, the bra holsters and all kinds of stuff. I said, girl,
Oh my God.
no, I'd be like shooting my boob or something. I ain't going there. I got too big of a rack to go with that. So I'm not going there. But, some of them do carry all the time. And, I don't feel comfortable doing that. I just, certain circumstances, if I was pet sitting and I was going out late and I was going to an area I wasn't really familiar with or too happy with, then yeah, I would. But I would never throw a gun in my purse. That's the first and utmost mistake
Going to
as
the
far as I'm
supermarket.
concerned.
Yeah.
Because you blow a hole in your purse, hell no, I ain't doing that. Blow a hole in my purse.
Might damage your shoes.
Oh yeah, and I love on TV because people are so influenced by TV. It's ridiculous. They see these guys walking around with a gun in their pants and stuff. It's like, dude, no. I mean,
No.
one wrong move and you're going to the hospital, son. So
Well, yeah, Kate, because you do have a point in that TV bleeding into real life, because wasn't that about 5-10 years ago that they were making all the TV gangsters hold their gun on an angle?
Right.
And all the gun professionals and cops are going, no, don't do that.
Oh, exactly.
Somebody gonna lose their meat and 2 veg, sticking their gun down their pants.
Well, yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. So every time I watch an old timey TV show or something and I see them doing that, I'm going, ooh. No thanks.
And it is. And they do need to do something, but they do need to do it quick. But just telling everybody you can't have a gun, I'm sorry, you're going to have to rewrite the Constitution, especially Virginia, man. Those people mean business there. No. I mean, there was almost rioting not too long ago. People remember that when they started talking about gun reform and all the other stuff. Man,
Yeah.
those people were marching and they had their guns right along with them.
Oh yeah, they don't
And
play.
no, they don't. And like I said, I've had a start. I mean, I've been shopping in a store before and leaned over and seen somebody with a gun. You know, you could tell there was a holster underneath their shirt, and it's kind of like,
Probably just pee myself.
okay, you know, so it is a little nerve wracking. I get it, but I gotta say, I would, you know, if something were to happen, I would rather there be somebody there that did have one than didn't. So,
I don't
and
think there's anywhere well, I don't go out a lot now because COVID, but before that, I don't think there was anywhere I ever went that somebody wasn't open carrying. The guys around
yeah,
here all open carry,
yeah,
and a couple of the girls, but mostly it's guys. And
yeah,
yeah,
mostly.
Walmart, Dollar General, Dollar Tree, no matter where you go,
Yeah, you
somebody's
just
got a
start.
gun.
I mean, it's kind of like, whoa.
Hmm.
And it is a little bit nerve wracking. I totally understand that because it's shook me a little bit too a couple times. But, you know, I just, I don't know. I just think that, you know, the people that they're trying to stop are already criminals. They don't care about the laws. They don't. And it's the people that are the law abiding citizens that go that get the gun, that wait the time period, that, you know, go to the police station, that get the fingerprints, that do everything the right way. They're, you know, it's the legal people that get punished because there's the criminals out there and they don't care, you know, and it's easy. Like I think Freddie was even saying this earlier. You know, you could go, it's just like drugs. You can walk down the street and buy something, you know, and it's not hard to do. You just have to know the right places to go.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that part to me is very frightening. But, you know, I don't know. I just think that some of these things that if somebody had, you know, had a weapon, that some of this stuff may not have happened or it got put in, you know, into a stop, because you really don't hear about, you only really hear the negative things about guns. You don't hear sometimes about, you know, the things that where guns have saved people's lives in that, being in that
Yeah.
situation. And so, you know, you hear about the bad stuff, but yeah, they definitely need to get back to, you know, if you want an assault weapon, go rent one and shoot it at the range. You don't need to own one. There's no reason to own one. None whatsoever.
Again, why would some ordinary guy want one? What is the point of it? You're not going
Well,
to
no,
fight zombie war or go to war, or well, I guess somebody could make a suggestion that you never know. But you know
true.
what it brings up is what happened, that cult, you know, with David Suresh and Koresh or whatever you call themselves. You know, people,
Right.
that's what you buy those guns for.
Right. And I too think it's
Yeah.
upbringing as well.
Mhm.
If you
True.
weren't brought up around weapons and you can't be afraid of a weapon and have a possession of a weapon. You have to know how to use it. You have to feel comfortable using it. And that means you have to practice using it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And,
And
you
I
know,
have never been around them. I was never raised with them. I think I held one once as a teenager, and I was kind of really uncomfortable with it. So, yeah, you're right. You have to have like a lifelong knowledge of it, and I
well,
just don't. I don't understand it.
right. Because, you know, here, like again, you have to go through a process. There's not where you just walk up and go, hey, I think I want that gun. I'll take a pink one. You know, it's not anything like that here.
Yeah.
Now, I would love that personally. I would love that. I'd be toting my little pink gun. But, you know, no,
Shame
it's a
on you.
process. It is. And but again, like I wasn't too familiar with them until I met my husband. Now, my ex-husband had, you know, military experience and stuff. So, you know, if I ever had to take him his gun, it was kind of like, oh, here. And but I didn't like that either. I didn't like that feeling because it's a dangerous thing to have. And you have to know, I mean, we've had incidents in a gun store. If you threw a gun down, it went off. And you can't do that. They can go off and you can get killed that way. So, you have to be comfortable. You have to know what you're doing. You can't be guessing. So here, there's, like I said, you have to have the whole process. You have to take, firearm education classes, all that stuff to do all that. And I was grateful for that because, like I said, when I met my current husband, his entire family is law enforcement. I mean, all of them. And, finally, his dad's looking at me like, can you shoot? I'm like, sort of, sort of. And he goes, oh, no. So, he takes you down to the police range, and goes, here, you need to learn how to do this. Because to me, and this is the only point my husband and I differ on, he likes revolvers. Now, a revolver has no safety.
Oh, okay. I'm getting
Well,
knowledge.
most of them, yeah, most of them don't. I'm sure there are some out there, but the smaller guns, like like my little 380, it has a safety on it. So I prefer to carry any type. If I'm going to carry something away from my house, it's going to have a safety on it. And I think that's probably the most important thing. So he goes, well, for home defense, honey, you want to just be able to pull the trigger and pull the hammer back and pull the trigger. You don't want to have to try to, cock it and, do all this other stuff. And remember, because you're going to, in an event, you're going to be scared. At least you should be. You're going to be scared.
Right.
So you don't want to sit there and go, okay, is the safety on or off? So I understand his theory on that, but my theory is I'm going to be a safety girl all the time. I'm not going to touch one unless it's got a safety on it. I'm just not. And then there's boxes. They're secure boxes, because the thing that just pisses me off the most is to see people with a gun laying around the house if you got kids.
Mm.
And I don't care how old the kids are. I don't care.
Mm-mm.
It's not okay. They need to be locked up.
Not okay.
And you can't get to it quick enough. Sure there is. Dana Lash advertises this all the time on her channel, if you know who I'm talking about. There's gun boxes that all you have to do is put your fingerprint on it and it unlocks.
Yeah,
but
I've got one of those.
Yes, and it's geared just to your fingerprints. And we have two of those. One's mine and one's his. So, and I don't know, Jules, can yours be programmed to handle more than one set of prints?
Not mine. No, I didn't get that one. Mine's just the one print.
Yeah, mine is too, and his is the same way. So, because I'm just not gonna take any kind of chance like that.
Right, exactly.
And so, those are locked up. They're locked up all the time. And people, even though people think that they have a gun, that they're safe, you're not. You're not.
No.
Friends of ours that were big time hunters. He lived in a not so great area. And this guy carried his gun with him wherever he went, everywhere. Somebody came to his door, his gun was sitting on his coffee table. He answered the door, they overwhelmed him, they almost beat him to death. Ooh. And he couldn't even get to his gun. So sometimes having a gun, it is useless. A gun didn't do him any good in that circumstance. So, unless you're going to carry it around with you in your holster all the time, like the Wild Wild West, then yeah. So ours are all upstairs. That's, where we need to have. Yeah. So, I mean, it's not safe. So you have to have that stuff locked up. And if I see anybody that they just want to leave it sitting around and stuff. Now, the only time I will have my weapon downstairs with me is my husband's out of town. then I will.
Yeah,
But
I don't blame
it's
you.
still locked up. It's still locked up. So I bring the whole box down and it sits right over here next to me. And if I need it, I can get it. But I'm one of those people, girl, I'll pick up the coffee table and throw it at you if I think I need 5 minutes. Because that any home self-defense, that's what they're gonna teach you is you're not there to engage with a fight. You're going to fight with these people long enough for you to get away. That's the whole point. You don't want to sit there and think you're going to beat these guys because you're not. But anything that you can do to stun them for a minute, like a shot to the throat, with your fist or something, and or a shot to the eyes or just whatever that they're going to teach you in self-defense. That's so you can take that time that bought you while the guy's down on the ground praising his balls is for you to get away.
That's right.
And my husband teases me because I have a 3-level house. So I have a plan that if somebody was coming through my front door, I'm going out this way. If somebody's coming in my back door, I'm going out the other way. And now the only time you're going to confront me is upstairs, and then we have a plan upstairs. If somebody's coming in this house, that door's getting locked, it's going to get barricaded. I'm going to be in the bathroom with my gun while I'm on the phone because you definitely do not want to, you want to call the police right away, but you also want to let the police know that you have an intruder, that your spouse is armed, and what your spouse is wearing, so your spouse doesn't accidentally get shot by the police, because that has happened. So that's my whole sole job, is to sit there on the phone calling the cops, going, okay, we have an intruder, my husband's armed, and this is what we're doing.
Yeah, I
So,
guess you would have to sort of report yourself, wouldn't you?
well, yeah, because you don't
Yeah,
want the police to arrive and think that, your
you're
significant other or you yourself is the suspect. So my father-in-law taught me that. He goes, if you call the police, you let them know that you are armed and give descriptions of both you and where you are and where they are the last you knew. So, who knew that this was going to be Education 101, because I wasn't even going to talk about it. But, I
yeah, we sort of went off on it, didn't we?
I'm sorry. But, it just irritates me too sometimes because, people want to punish the gun. But it's just like with animals too.
Yeah.
Any animal can be dangerous. A
Oh,
cat can be dangerous. I mean, it's all how the animal is raised and how you're interacting with the animal. But any animal can be dangerous, just like it's not the gun, it's the person with the gun.
It's
So it's
not the
not the
pit
gun.
bull, it's the owner of the pit bull.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I love
And
pitties, but I won't own one just because of the liability. Here, you
oh,
would have to have a special license to own certain dogs. And we had an incident, not me, but it was a neighborhood incident where this guy had a beautiful pit bull, and he wouldn't neuter him. And he was paying, I know for a fact, he was paying out the bloody nose for the license. For whether he was using the dog for breeding, I have no idea.
probably.
But for all intents and purposes, the dog was friendly and friendly to humans. But an older gentleman with his basset hound walked by, and the dog went for the basset hound.
Yeah.
And it was awful. People ran out trying to get the dog, the pit, to let go of the basset, and it wouldn't. Finally, one guy just kicked the dog in the balls.
Yeah.
And that and the guy grabbed his dog and ran, and the other guy was just stunned that his dog would do such a thing. And the ones that were witnessing this was going, why hasn't this dog been neutered? This is an aggressive breed. It's a working breed. If you're not breeding the dog, have it neutered. There's a
Exactly.
reason for it other than birth control. There's a reason. It cuts the aggression.
Yep, it does. You are absolutely correct.
Yeah. So, stop being, male owners of dogs, stop looking at the dog's nards as something precious, because they're not.
Well, exactly. I mean, come
Yeah.
on. And unless and again, people, I almost agree too that, you know, till they, and they're working on it. I think they really are doing a lot for the puppy mills and that kind of stuff, because
Mhm.
that's just horrific all by itself. I
Yeah.
mean, that's just so sad. But they are really starting to make a difference with puppy mills, to where, it just makes sense to shop. You don't go, you go to the animal shelter, because you can find pure breeds at the animal shelter.
Yeah.
you know and so
And
people are so bent that I have to have a purebred husky, I just have to have a husky. Well, if you really have to have that husky, go to a legit breeder and get a husky. But then, if you're not going to breed the animal, then do have it neutered or spay.
mhm.
And I went around and around with a neighbor years ago. She had the most beautiful red husky, and she would try to breed these dogs. Well, she was getting a lot of complaints from the neighbors, and I'm really surprised, because I've had a husky, and huskies don't really bark. They're
They
not
howl.
barking dogs.
Yeah,
They're
they
kind of
howl.
more or less, they go row, 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 row. That's about the
Yeah.
most they do, you know. And so they're not huge barkers. So some of her neighbors were complaining. If I got a problem with you, I'm just going to come knock on your door and go, hey, let's talk about it. I'm not going to call the cops on you unless I've tried numerous times, then I will. But,
Mhm.
you know, somebody called the cops. So what she ended up doing, she had the dog's vocal cords
Oh,
done.
no, my neighbor used to do that to her dogs. It's illegal here now.
I'm so glad, because that is the most
Oh,
horrific thing
horrifying.
ever.
Yeah.
I mean, that's worse than, to me, that's worse than declawing your cat, because
Mhm.
that's a whole nother thing too. I mean, they're all like, are you going to declaw it? I'm like, no, are you kidding me? If it got outside just by chance, because all my animals have always been indoors, always.
Yeah.
And I freak out if one of my cats got loose. I'd be like, I wouldn't rest until I found it. And you know I just, that's the most horrific thing. Finally, I worked for a vet one time, and they told me how they declawed it. I'm like,
No, they
oh my
chop their little
God.
toes off. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like medieval. And it's like, so I'm so glad so finally people are starting to get that we're not going to do that anymore. But, I still want to see the people that can put those little pretty caps, those nail caps on a cat. Come put one on my baby. I'll pay you. I'd love to see it done,
Just
you
provide
know?
the poor cat with its proper scratching. I mean, I've never owned a cat, but I have looked at cat sections at pet stores, and there's a lot of wonderful distractions for kittens and cats to flex themselves. Dig their
Well,
claws
sure.
into balls of twine and all sorts of things. You don't need to ruin your furniture.
No, and I
Yeah.
have I have leather furniture.
Ooh.
And and that was my husband's swift idea. And I'm thinking, oh dear God, I'm getting leather furniture. What is wrong with me? And I said, this is probably not a good idea. You know that, don't you? He's like, oh, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's been fine. It's been
Oh, good.
fine. Yeah, oh yeah, we haven't had any problems at all, because we have scratchers on every level. We have I mean, I have one that's taller than me,
Mhm.
that's in the front room where they can look out and survey their
Yeah.
kingdoms. And I've got I have one on every level that they can claw, they can do whatever they want to it. Now, we every now and then get a little claw stuck in the couch from time to time, but that's only because they're running around chasing each other.
Mhm.
And somebody will bounce off the back of the couch or something, and I'll go, hey, and they'll be like, what? I didn't leave a mark, so it's like they know. But it is. It's with everything. It's time, patience, and training. Bark collars don't work.
No.
It's called attention. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
You know, if you've got a hyperactive cat, and trust me, I have a 14-year-old, a 12-year-old, and the baby. And if you do not exercise this baby, he will be bouncing off the walls at 2 o'clock in the morning, running. His big thing now, y'all, is he likes medicine caps. He'll take like the bottle left
Hmm.
over if you're getting ready to throw it away from the prescription, and he plays fetch with it. He will bring it to you in the middle of the night up in bed and be like, "Look what I brought you! Look what I brought you! What's what I brought you?" And I'm like, "No." Well, my husband made the mistake of throwing it.
Oh, what
And I said, "You
fun.
know what you just did, don't you?" And he goes, "Yeah, I do now." I said, "Good, you play fetch with him at 2 night." So now he woke us up at 3 o'clock in the morning the other morning, just this terrific noise. I'm like, "What is he doing?" He's got a medicine cap in the bathtub.
Oh,
So he took it, dropped it in the bathtub, and thought, "Oh, this is the best place to play with this. How come I didn't think of this before?" So he's just playing all kinds of, it's going all over the place. That thing, and it sounded like the whole house was falling down.
that's hilarious. And you know about dogs barking. I was in touch with a canine behaviorist when I was having real issues with my dog when she was a puppy. Um, and we were talking about barking because it was part border collie, and so she had this very pitchy bark, and I was going, how do I handle that? And she says, acknowledge the bark. She says, when dogs are, let's say, at the front window and they see somebody passing by, don't yell at your dog to shut up. Go, oh, what do you see out there? Most dogs will stop, look at you. You acknowledged what I just pointed out, that there's a potential trouble out in the front yard, because dogs are bred to do that.
Yep.
They- and like I would say 7 out of 10 times, my simply acknowledging her bark in a calm manner shut her up. Okay,
Yep.
you heard what I said. Okay, let's move on. Where's my bone? Where's
Right.
my scratch behind my
Right.
ear? Yeah,
Right. Because
yeah,
they are the ones that train us to respond.
exactly. So, don't punish your dog for being a dog. That's what
That's
dogs
exactly
do.
it. That's
Yeah.
exactly it, Kathy. That's exactly it. So, I mean, it is
Hmm.
what it is, and and my only thing was, oh, and I won't go there. That's mean. But people need to just realize that, please go to the Humane Society. There's
Yeah.
specific groups that rescue breeds. Like one of my girlfriends loves Goldens. Oh my goodness. She has driven, I will give her this. She has driven like 5, 6 hours away to go meet dogs and adopt them and bring them home. So I just think that's so, admirable on their part to do that.
Right.
And but certain, rescue groups are there to rescue these breeds. And that's just so good that they do this. But there's so many animals waiting for homes. It's just, please just don't shop for a full-blooded animal unless you're really going to put your heart and soul in it and be a breeder. If
And
not,
another little tip, sorry, Kate,
no,
is
fine.
if a dog breed that you're interested has a rescue society, you need to sit down and rethink your choice, because there's a reason. Some breeds are more prone to tear up your house if they're not exercised,
Oh yeah.
have genetic issues. Um, So yeah, I've always I've been a mixed breed person, because
Yes.
they're always the best of both breeds, and you get the best of both breeds. Very rarely do you get problems, But the only full breed dog that I've ever really considered owning is Jack Russell. I think they are the characters of the canine world. I love them. My sister had two of them, and I just love those dogs. I just love them. I know all their bad things, but I would still make the decision to own one. Would I go out and buy them from a breeder? Probably not, but I would contact a rescue society and say, I'd, I'd like to try,
Mhm.
you know?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
And more power to you, because the most difficult animal I ever worked with was a Jack Russell.
They
And and it's weird too, because me, animals, for some reason, they like me. They come to me. They're like, "Oh, hey, we know you. Cool. You like us." And it must just be written all over me. I don't know, because as a pet sitter, I've never had any kind of problems. And the one lady, it was so cute. She contacted my boss, and I went out for the interview with her, and she says, "Well, the gal was pregnant, and they knew that once the baby came, or when the baby was going to be coming and stuff, they would have to have somebody be able to come and let the animals out. She had a dog and the cat." And I'm thinking, okay, no big deal. And we go out and we have an initial interview, and they find out about us, we find out about them, how do they want things done.
Mhm.
And we were doing all that, and she goes, "Well, there's one thing about it, he doesn't like anybody." And I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Challenging.
And it was very challenging. And the first couple times I went, they were just at work. It's not a big deal. And they wanted him walked, and the cat fed and played with and whatever. And that's normal, that's what we do. So I went in, and the first couple times I went, I'm just going to be like, I'm going to give him treats, not really pay too much attention to him, let him come to me first. Well, this dog broke every rule that you could possibly think was normal. He wouldn't take treats from me. He wouldn't come anywhere near me. He would sit across the other side of the room and growl at me. And I'm like, well, this is not going well. The cat liked me just fine. The cat's liking me just fine. So I'm like, oh my goodness. Okay. So finally, I was talking to my boss, and I said, this is going to be interesting, because I'm going to have to put a harness on him, because he doesn't wear a collar. He wears a harness, and then attach the leash to his harness so I can take him outside to go potty. And I'm thinking, if he doesn't, because I'm not going to get bit. I'm sorry. I'm not going to get bit. The only creature I ever babysat that bit me was a flipping rabbit. And I wondered why the lady tipped me so much ahead of time, because she knew the rabbit was mean as shit. And that's another story. But so I'm talking to my boss. I'm like, I don't know what to do, because this is getting difficult. And she goes, well, have you even brought the harness out? And I said, no, I've been just trying to get him to take treats from me. And so I said, I'm going to think about this for a little bit. And the next time I went right in, and I was like, hey, buddy, I said, let's go for a walk. Well, that's all it took. He come running to me, and he was very hesitant when I first put the harness on. He was kind of looking at me like, bitch, I'm going to bite you. But he was good. And, he did a little growling from here and there, no curled lip or anything. If you hear growling and a curled lip, it's time to back off. But, he just a little bit of growling at me. And I said, come on. I was excited. Let's do this. Let's go for a walk. And I was able to get his harness on, his leash, and we went for a walk. And ever since, he loved me. So it was just so weird little
That's all you
shit to
needed
kind
to
of,
do.
yes. So it's just weird little things here and there that little animals have to hear, or they're quirky, just like people and kids. So you just never know what's going to be their little quirk, and what's going to, to fit with them. So it is
Yeah.
what it is. And, it is fun.
So
But
Freya, you pointed out that I'm sorry, not Freya. Pardon me. I no glasses on. Daria, that she who must not be named is fighting the good fight on all fronts. Nobody's paying attention to her on those
right.
new fronts. So,
And here's my point exactly.
Yeah.
There's a nice little troll in here saying not nice things, and they're going to go bye-bye.
Oh,
So we don't do that here. Like I said, now see, I wouldn't have known what was, but they were saying by what they were saying, and now they're not going to be coming back. This was my whole point. If I see something like this that I know is suspect,
yeah.
then I'm going to take care of it. I'm not going to let that happen, but I'm not going to punish people for it because I don't know who this is, but they're not going to stay here because what they said was inappropriate. So they're gone.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Whoever Sheila King is.
And yeah, and I don't know who that is. I have a suspicion on who that might be, but I don't know for sure. But what they said was inappropriate, and so they are not going to be staying. So that's how that works.
Yeah, and you're right there, yeah, because as soon as somebody goes live, then the place is just, yeah. You have a point.
Well, yeah, that's true. And that was what I was trying to say earlier too, because this is not okay. It's not. And when we see it, I don't know about anybody else, but if I'm around, and I've proven this, I have a video up on my channel that we don't tolerate it. Now, some of it's very obvious, like this was quite obvious. Other times, if it's just somebody coming in, if they had just come in and not said something what they said, then I wouldn't have thought twice about it. But they came in and said something nasty. So, no, they're not going to stay. So
Yeah.
that's my point. That is my whole point about, again, I'm not going to punish anybody for doing that. It's a troll. That's what they like to do. They like to stir things up and be trollish. Now, we've talked about this before, Kathy. Back in the day, trolling was fun.
Yeah.
We were funny trolls. We did the silly things, by going in and we used to get the April the giraffe moms all freaked out. We
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
say something silly with to the April the giraffe moms and stuff, but it wasn't anything that was nasty or doxing or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And
So
Jason brings up a good point because a certain someone uses her own daughter and admits to it and is gleeful about it, and it's disgusting to
it
use
is. It
your
is,
own
Kathy.
child as a weapon.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, get some help.
Exactly. Because like I said, I don't have a problem with anybody, but don't sit there and proudly announce that
What
you're
a bad
going
mother you are.
to, well,
Sorry.
I don't know about that, but that's okay. I understand. But no, my whole point is I'm not going to sit there because trolls are everywhere. You can't go anywhere without them. I mean, you can't. There's like a stream called Tiny Kittens, and I don't mind sharing it out because, honey, they got mods and they know their mods know their shit, so they don't tolerate the stuff. You can go there and try all you want, but it's this little gal out of Canada. She's the most wonderful rescue place I've ever seen. You want to talk about
Oh,
dedication? It's called Tiny Kittens. Look it up, Kathy. They have
well,
all kinds of, she fosters, and what they do is they go rescue pregnant animals out of the colony and bring them and let them, peacefully have birth, and they birth their little babies, they fix them, and if they're able to be tamed, they stay, they go to a home. If not, then they return them back to the colony where they're happiest. But they're fixed now and they won't have any more babies, which is the whole point.
Yeah.
So she's gotten up at two, this little baby is the most famous baby, and I watched this baby grow up, and oh God, I loved her so much. She's still around. She has her own little channel. She's called Aurora Cuda.
oh, okay.
She was born with a cleft palate. and they caught it fast enough to where, because she couldn't latch onto the nipple. So they were like, oh my goodness. And normally these babies don't survive. This is the kind of woman Shelley is. She hand fed this baby till it was old enough that they called a surgeon. So, and this was a big production. They had to try to close the palate. There was all kinds of challenges with this baby. But she had to put a tube into that little kitten's stomach every 2 hours.
Oh.
And she did. And Aurora Cuda is one of the most beautiful little cats you'd ever seen now. She's a couple years old because this was a couple years ago. But that's what they do. Those are the genuine people. That's where my money goes. If I donate, that's where my money goes. Because she's all about it. And, there's heartbreak in her community, in her world. It happens,
Yeah.
But there's so many great successes. But she's just an amazing woman. So if you can everybody can hear my voice. Tiny kittens, tiny kittens. It's the neatest place. You get to watch babies come in, and you get to watch them grow up, and it is just wonderful. If you're having a bad day, how can you not love to watch babiys romping? How
That's
can you
why I
not love
love
it?
that otter channel that I keep forcing you guys to watch because
Oh, I
I just
know.
love them.
Oh, I love it too. And there's actually, I watched this one. It's called I Am Puma,
Oh,
and it's a Russian couple, and he must have some big cat experience, because I think they rescued this puma, and over there they're called pumas. Over here we call them cougars or mountain lions. And this cat lives in the house. And one of my most favorite videos, if I'm having a bad day, I pull up them sleeping. They go to bed. Here comes this cougar, climbs up in bed with mom. Mom's trying to read a book. Here he comes, flops down. This big purr. You hear this big cat. And so he's having a good old time. Then here comes Dad. Dad's ready for bed. Mom's already curled up, half asleep. And here comes Dad. He gets in. Big cougar's right in the middle. And so
That's
you
so
can't have a
sweet.
bad day. Yeah, you cannot. I'll send you the link, Jules. It's absolutely just precious.
Oh
And
yeah, I'd
they
love to
do,
watch that.
yes, and they go live from time to time. And but they are, because it's in Russian, so some you can click on. I think they have closed captioning from time to time, but you don't need to hear what he's saying. Sometimes he speaks English and stuff, but you don't need to hear everything to see what's going on. And that would be me. And my husband hates it. He's like, don't even ask. I'm like, but he's like, don't even ask. I'm like, but I want one. And he goes, he's okay. That's not a pony. And I'm like, but I still want one. I want one. I want a cougar. And I've babysat a cougar before. So it's not like I don't know how. So
I like to watch the chipmunks on Instagram. I'll have to give y'all that link. They're so cute. They come and sit in the guy's hand, take the nuts right out of it. They all have different names, and he calls them, and they come by their name, and it's just adorable.
Yeah,
and he does
got a channel too that I watch about with chipmunks.
Yeah, and he'll say happy birthday to people. If you DM him, send him a DM and say it's so and so's birthday. Can you say happy birthday? And he'll call Dinky as one of them, and he'll go, Dinky says happy birthday to whomever it is. It's just so cute.
Oh, that's cute. See, I would love that. I mean, and it's a bummer. I used to take care of a squirrel, and much to my husband's chagrin, because he's having a battle with the squirrel right now. He's not real happy right now with this one squirrel, and He's like, don't think I'm not going to take the BB gun and tang his ass if I find him. I said, well, honey, you're going to be tanging lots of ass, because who knows which squirrel this is, because not like we don't have just one. I get mad at him. I see him crossing the street and I go, get your ass back over in that. Get over there. You're going to get run over, you little shit. So, but I know it is just classic. I had a squirrel client for, oh God, well over 2 years. And he was a character and a half. Now you just had to make sure that he had it was almost like a big parrot cage that he was in. And when they were at work, he was in the big cage. And they had a big, like, screened in porch out back. And he could go out there and stuff. He could go out there. But when they weren't home, he was in his big cage. And I would come in and you just had to make sure that everything was closed up before you lay him out. And one of the first things he'd do is run right up you and sit on your shoulder.
Oh, how sweet.
And he was adorable. Now, he could be a little shit. He really could. And he recently passed away. It's been several months, but I was very bummed that day, because, you get attached to these animals, even though they're your clients. They're just like your kids, because I'm going to care for them just like you are going to care for them. That's me. There's people that when they do that job, it's like a motion. They just go through the motion. You can tell it in any job. You can tell when people really love their job or when people don't love their job.
You sure can.
Yes. So when I went and did this, these animals, I adored them. They were just like my kids.
Yeah.
And, I just couldn't do it any other way. Okay.
No.
And so, it's just, I don't know. And you become attached to them when they pass away. It's very sad. But, like I always tell people, my one girlfriend said this to me one time, and I had just lost a pet. And she goes, you know what, though? She goes, how else can we make room in our hearts if they all stay forever? We don't have room for new ones to come into our hearts.
Ooh, good one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that always stuck with me. And it's true. It doesn't matter how long we have them. It's never long enough. Never. Never.
That's true.
So.
I know. I can't stand, like, we get every year I have to nurse a baby bird until this lady that lives 2 cities away, who we all call the bird lady, will come and get them, because I can't stand to think of them out there, just dying because they can't take care of themselves.
Exactly, Jules. And I'm like that.
And one time I called up my boss and I said, well, this was a few years ago when I was still, working. I said, I'm going to be late today and you can write me up if you want, but I found a baby bird this morning and I can't leave it out here, and it's got to be fed, regularly. And so unless you're going to let me bring it to work and feed it, as often as it needs. And she says, bring it on in, because, she knew me. So it was so cute. When I'd have to go out on the road, she would feed it, and then everybody fell in love with it. The bird lady couldn't get it for 3 days. So for 3 days, everybody at work was helping with it. Was so sweet.
Oh, really was. That is sweet, though. It's kind of like the office project.
Exactly.
The office project. Oh, I love it. Because I'm like that, too. I actually made my husband stop. Because when you see a goose just sitting on the side of the road and it's just kind of sitting there and it's not really doing anything, there's a problem. And now I don't know if people know this or not, but it is actually, if you intentionally injure a Canada goose, it's a felony. It's a felony. And here, people are so freaking impatient. They can't wait for the geese to cross the road. They'll just run them over. And I caught one lady doing it. And I pulled up next to her and I told her, I said, thank you for your license plate, ma'am, because I am going to report you because you intentionally hit that goose. I have it. I took pictures. And now you're in trouble. And because I will do it, I don't care. It's an animal. It has feelings. You know, a lot of people think they're a nuisance animal. They might be to
Yeah.
you, but they're one of a living animal. But so I made my husband stop because I knew something was wrong with this goose. And he goes, "What are we going to do with it?" I said, "I will call the wildlife place." But I said, "I got to go home. I got to get a box and I got to get a towel and some gloves because they don't have teeth per se. But I tell you that they can peck you with that beak. It
Oh,
can
it
hurt.
doesn't feel good at all when they get you hold of you.
Yeah, it can hurt. And so I did. And he looked at me, he goes, "You know you're taking care of it, don't you?" And I said, "Yes, I will take care of it. Why else would I mean, come on, what do you expect?" And
That's
so
right.
the wildlife lady couldn't take it till the next day. So I had to keep it for a day. And it sat out in my garage. It drank, it ate, and it was doing fine. It was alert. And we did get it to the wildlife lady the next day, and she sadly called me and said that it had a broken wing that was too far up on its body. And she said we took him and had him, put to sleep. And I said, "Well, okay, at least," but she goes, "Thank you though, because if you had left that," he goes, "he would have just been a welcome meal for a coyote and they would have torn him to shreds alive."
Yeah.
So I couldn't bear to have that happen to any animal. So,
No.
I mean, we've stopped and gotten little baby opossums off their mamas, I mean, you
Yeah.
just throw on some gloves, and like I said, I think I've only ever been terrorized by one animal, and that was a damn rabbit.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the same way, Katie. I just can't leave them to die. I can't.
No, I
No,
can't
no,
either.
not
I
at
can't
all.
either.
That's like we
Yep.
have some baby ducks that are out here and some baby bunnies. And
Oh,
the baby I'm feeding the baby bunnies. I actually have them in a little pen right now because the Hulk got their mom.
oh
And
no.
so I knew that they wouldn't be able to make it. They're just not old enough to have learned how to take care of themselves.
Right.
So we're taking care of them. And and Toto just loves them. He wants to play with them, but they're afraid of
Oh,
him.
yeah.
But they'll get used to him. He goes up to the pen, and he visits them, and they'll realize he's not going to hurt them. But
Oh, good.
and then we have, I think I've told y'all already, the ducks that come every day, and we have some geese that come now, some Canadian geese, and then of course I feed all the birds. We got bukus of bird feeders and the
We do too.
squirrels,
Oh, yeah.
and we have this woodpecker. I bought a woodpecker feeder, and I love it when it gets out there and starts pecking away. I just love it. It annoys the
Oh,
neighbor, our new neighbor. She says, "Oh my goodness, that woodpecker is just so loud." And I said, "Well, I'm sorry, I'm feeding it, so you might
oh,
have to get used to it."
girl. I know if our neighbors only knew, because we have a couple houses down, there's the foxes. We still live rural enough that I'm so blessed I get to see a lot of this wildlife. Knickers does too. And they they den every year under their shed. And so you'll see them in the early at dusk. They'll be walking down the fence line. Ron just following mom. Dad's at the end. Yeah, this is so cute. It looks like a little family. They're just adorable. And we have our fair share of everything. And I told my husband, I said the neighbors would absolutely shit if they knew all our meat scraps go out at night. We throw everything out to them,
Mm-hmm.
because we have, the raccoons and the possums. And one time, oh my God, we still lived in an apartment. And this was so funny. I thought it would be fun to feed the raccoons. I was feeding one raccoon. One. Oh my God.
No.
We heard a commotion out there one night and we turned the lights on. Oh my God, my neighbors were probably ready to kill me. There was
That's
mom and
so
all
funny.
kinds of babies, all kinds of babies. I'm like, oh shit. So we ended up,
That's
there
so
was like
funny.
6 of them out there and they're all fighting over the food. I'm like, oh shit. And my husband just looked at me and goes, see what you did? And I'm like, no, now we just need more food because everybody's fighting.
That's
So
right.
he
Just
goes,
need more food.
I know. He goes, Kate, that wasn't my point. I said, well, and when I
I
worked at the
want to
pet
have a
shop,
possum in my backyard, but it's too cold here for possums. But I hear
Oh,
such amazing creatures that clean up your yard for you, eat
oh yeah,
ticks.
we have one of those too, Cassie.
Ah,
Yeah.
Toto tries to play with it, and it plays dead. It's so
yeah,
funny.
and it's
Every
not
night
living.
they're out there playing dead. Play with me. Nope, I'm playing dead. Play with me. No, I'm playing dead. It's funny.
That's so funny. Oh my God, I love it.
We
Oh
took my
no.
grandma out to eat, and I mean, this was a while ago. After her and granddad, rest his soul, had moved into this new house they had, and we took grandma out to eat, and she was hardly eating her food. So I asked her if something was wrong with her, because we'd gone down there to visit her in North Carolina. And she was like, "No, I'm just not real hungry." And I said, "Oh, but you're feeling all right?" And yeah. So anyway, we go back and forth. So she gets a to go thing, and she's got like half
Mhm.
of her steak left and veggies and stuff. We get home, and she stops and she sits the container on the porch and takes the top off of it. And I said, "Grandma, what are you doing?" She says, "Well, I had this possum and I feed it every day." And I'm like, "Grandma, you are hilarious. You did not eat your food so you could feed the possum." I said, "That is so sweet." But I was still laughing because I thought it was hilarious. Did not
I
eat all
know.
her food so she could feed the possum. That was just so sweet.
Yep. Yep, because we do. If we have like leftover steak scraps, from cutting up your steak and there's some fat on it or something. Nope, it goes
Yeah.
outside every night. Every night, whatever we don't have left over. Because that's one thing. I love my husband dearly. Do not get me wrong, but the man is the pickiest eater I have ever met. Ever.
I
Now
couldn't even.
he's not as bad as he used to be 34 years later, thank God. But when I first met him, he wouldn't eat sour cream, he wouldn't eat a
Oh,
mushroom. It's like, oh Lord help me. Oh, so finally, and I think I told the story when we were on a cruise. The waiters, it was their life's mission to get him to try food. They were bringing him, they were arguing
Aw.
with each other. No, no, he's not going to eat that. No, yes, he will. No, he's not. You watch. So they would all be bringing him stuff. Here you go, sir. Here you go. Try this. Try this. And they would get him to eat stuff. It was hilarious. So, yeah, but bless his heart, he is the pickiest man on the planet. He will not eat leftovers a lot of times. Now, me, if I have leftover spaghetti, I'm all on it. It tastes better the next day.
oh, me too.
Oh
Now
yeah.
he'll eat the major stuff like lasagna and chili and that kind of stuff left over, but that's it. That's basically all he will eat left over. Anything else, nope, he will not do it. So it goes outside. It's like and 'cause half the time, I'm sorry, I'm not going to get fat eating all the leftover stuff you're not eating because it's perfect here in this household. The wax lover household, you buy a pie, I get a little sliver of it, and he gets the rest. And I'm like, praise Jesus, thank you, Lord. So, because my ass, it doesn't go right to my ass. It could go to your ass instead,
That's right.
which it doesn't.
Jenny,
He works
you
smart.
you keep rocking your exercise videos. You're a skinny legend and beautiful, and you go for it.
Oh yeah,
Yep. Take
Jenny.
care,
Get
Jenny.
some
Take
rest,
care.
honey. My
Take
beautiful
care.
friend.
Yep. Take care. But it's just crazy. I mean, I just wish, you know, I know I heard what everybody was saying. Guys, just let it go. I mean,
No,
we have.
I've just given them content for days,
Well,
because
you are,
Annie's
but
live.
why?
I'm
I mean,
doing the Lord's work here, my
it
charity.
it just baffles me though, Kathy, is that I'm going to have an opinion. I mean, I've
Oh,
been in
God
so many
forbid.
mouths lately. I didn't really.
Love
Come
you too,
on.
Jen.
I mean,
No.
nobody has talked about anybody. There's been no
Mm,
reason to. But, I'm going to respond to some of the stuff that I heard that was very heartbreaking to me that you want to punish other people for who you think the trolls are. Well, it's all them over there, all them over there. And I'm really tired of hearing that. And I'm really tired because people can take you seriously, you
well, she's
know?
saying it in front of a mirror because she's actually talking back to herself. Because who's over here? I've got 7 people in chat now because they're probably
Exactly.
all running over which is fine. You go do
Exactly.
you, boo. I am not going to listen because what she says, and I can't stand her voice, her slurping and smacking. Ugh, ugh, gives me the willies. So she can have her little bitch box over there. That's fine. That's fine. And those that enjoy
Right.
watching her, that's fine too. I'm not.
Right. Right. And it's I again, if I've lied about something, please point it out because like I
Mhm.
said, I've not. I'm not perfect. Of course, I'm not perfect, but I don't go around taking stuff off of YouTube for anybody. And they're the ones that sit there. Well, they're the doctors. They're the doctors. They're doing this. MT said I doxed his kids. No, I've never doxed anybody. If I have, prove it to me and show me that I did. I want to see it. Show me I did it. If you want to show me I did it, then sure, I'll own up to it. But that's not going to happen because I've never done it. For one, I'm not going to sit and look into you that much because I don't really care. I don't watch her. The
No.
other one, yes, I do because I get a kick out of it, to be quite honest. And they sit there and, who cares if she lied about this? Who cares if she lied about that? But then you're pulling people in saying the same thing. Well, they're lying. They're doing this. They're doing that. Who cares?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who cares?
As for
Who
the other one,
cares?
it's simple entertainment. The other one is just an assault on one's ears and sensibilities. So,
No, and I tuned in the other day because I was like, what is going on here? And it did. And nobody wants to believe it because I called this woman friend for years. And what I
yeah.
heard come out of her mouth, I was appalled. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. You're going to blame someone, another creator, and her supporters. So you're going to go after them and dox them. She said it plain out because of trolls that we don't know. We don't know who they are. So if people want the trolls to quit, stop giving them attention and stop feeding into them. And maybe they will get bored and go away. But like I said, I have my ideas on some of these because they come around conveniently to stir things up. That's why I told somebody else the other day, don't start coming into another creator's live stream and say, so and so is over there saying this, this, and this. I don't care. Don't come over here and bring their drama to over here. It's not appreciated and it's not going to be tolerated. Because like yesterday, everything was taken care of. The one account was asked to change their name. And the other account, we told Deborah, thank you very much for coming in and telling us. And we will be on the lookout for that. Because if we don't know, we don't
Yeah.
know to be on the lookout for that. So kudos to her for coming and letting us know. And that's all anybody can ask. Come over, let us know. Because again, we're supposed to know all these people's names. No, I don't. I don't know people's names.
Exactly. And Jason, Candy can go where she likes, honestly. If she is I'm just been informed that she's on Annie's panel. I'm not sure about what, but she's grown. She can do what she likes.
Right. She sure can. She
Yeah.
sure can. And I
if
hope
you enjoy her content, then you keep watching her. This is not
exactly.
this is not if you watch me, I don't want you. That's not the case here. So
Right.
do keep watching her if you enjoy her content. Same with
Exactly.
Annie. Same with Piggy over there.
Yep.
Go be free.
Candy's probably trying to get things straight that she's being blamed about. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to listen, but that's probably why she's over there.
Yeah, so
I hope she does. Yeah. I hope Candy is able to clear some stuff up because Candy gets, I know a lot of people have their opinions about Candy. Candy's never done anything to me. Candy, I don't have a problem with Candy. And I think Candy does get the short end of the stick a lot,
Oh, yes,
and
Yes.
definitely.
I really do. I think she does get the short end of the stick a lot. And that's not fair. It's not fair for her either, because she's just out there doing the stuff that she wants to do. And, I've been really proud of Candy. She's just been doing her own thing. She's not said a word about anybody. Nobody has said anything. We're just commenting. I'm not accusing anybody of doing anything. I'm just saying that this is my opinion. And if you want to accuse me of doing something, please prove it. Please prove that it's me. If you're saying I'm lying, please prove it. Please show the receipts that I'm lying. That's all I ask. But
Yeah.
the thing that bothered me the most is that certain people are going to blame other people's supporters and threaten to dox them because of what trolls are saying. I mean, I just can't fathom that.
And see, I'm the opposite of Candy. Jason is, I honestly don't give a right righteous fuck what they say about me. I don't
Amen,
care.
sister.
I
Amen.
do not care. Candy
Mm-mm.
does. Everybody has a different tolerance for being spoken about.
That's
For
true.
me, she's reactive, and she needs to handle it the way she handles it. That's all. And
Agreed.
yeah, so that's it.
Right.
That's all I got to say about it.
Exactly. Same here. Candy's Candy's a hoot. I love when Candy does game night. Candy's a character and a half. And I'm proud to call her that she's my friend.
Me
I
too.
have
She's
no
a good
problem with it.
person.
She really
She
is.
gets a bad
And
rap
she
because she'll speak
does.
up, because she'll speak her mind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, that's if you think of it, Jules. That's probably why a lot of us do get along, because I'm outspoken. I always have been outspoken, and it gets me in trouble all the time. And again, nobody was trying to go after anybody. This was not the point of this. But I'm just saying that I'm glad people come in and let us know. If someone's using your account or using your picture and you don't think it's appropriate, then fine, come and let us know, and we'll take care of it. We will take care of it, because we don't want that either. But still, people still keep going, throwing stuff out there. Well, them over there, they do this, they condone this, they dox. No, I would hope that none of us would do that. But it's the people that want to continue to cause problems within other communities. They come, well, so-and-so saying this and so-and-so saying that. Fine, I don't want to hear about it.
When it's so easy to just ignore people that you don't like.
And it is. And and I understand that, a lot of people say that, well, if you don't like so-and-so, why do you watch her? I don't watch her per se, but some of the outlandish stuff, I mean, it's just, why? You don't have to lie. If you have people and they're your friends, you don't have to lie to them. You don't. You don't have to
No.
lie. And that's what fathoms to me is I don't understand is why even do it? You don't have to. I've said very publicly that I've thought that she can be a very nice person when she wants to be, but I don't think she knows how to be for the long haul. And that's just my opinion. And again, everybody, they all want to screech about this and screech about that. But as soon as we open our mouths and have an opinion, we're the horrible bad people.
Yeah, the horrible
And
bad people.
That's not going to
The
fly
mean
with me.
I've also said that I don't hate her and I don't wish her
No.
any ill will. I just don't
Never.
want to be her friend anymore.
Well, she's done some crappy stuff to you, Jules.
Yeah.
Exactly. But you know what? That's her. That's on her. It's all her karma she's got to deal with. You
Right.
know, like she can say whatever she wants. Doesn't affect me. I don't care.
Mhm.
I
And I
used to
don't know
care,
you.
but I don't care now. It's not going to affect my everyday life. It's not going to affect my friendships with the people who know me.
Yeah.
And what people think about me whom I don't know, I don't care. Spread every
Right.
freaking, say I got 3 horns, you know, and then I have Greek orgies with farm animals. I don't care. Say it. I
Yeah.
don't care.
Right. The visual on that one, though, Jules. Ooh, no.
But Jules, I don't know if you can see the chat. His nickname is saying, "Well, I love playing games as long as Jules isn't on panel."
No kidding, guy. She's a ringer, isn't
Oh,
she?
nickname.
Oh,
Wait till the next game night.
The glove has been thrown.
right.
Somebody will
And
probably take a voice clip and leave out part of what I just said so they can,
Oh,
use
yeah,
just that one part. Say,
You're
oh, she's nasty. She's nasty.
oh, no.
nasty.
But
She's
see, that's
nasty.
and again, that's one thing I really, and I'm not trying to single anybody out, but that's just it. That's what causes a lot of problems. Those people come, well, they're over there saying this, this, and this. Let them go ahead and say it, I guess, because apparently they've been listening and nothing is sinking in that what we've been saying.
No.
So
Like,
it's
you're yeah.
we're damned if we do and damned if we don't. If we try to address it in a reasonable manner, we're still nasty, mean people. I can't even go on panel to defend myself over there because they've got me blocked.
Because they're scared of what you say. Because you
I have
are
nothing to you know what though, Kate? You have nothing to oh, I'm sorry, Kathy.
No.
You have nothing to defend yourself about. I don't have anything to defend myself about. Kathy doesn't have anything to defend herself about. None of us do, because we're not the ones causing all the grief, spewing all the lies, and spreading vitriol about people. So why should we have to apologize for anything?
Oh no, I wasn't. I hadn't intended on apologizing.
I know, honey. I'm just saying. We don't have to, I know what you're saying, hon. And I just needed to say that too. But we don't have anything that we need to apologize or explain ourselves about. We don't.
Well, the only thing I would want to explain to have it sink in is just stop. We don't know who these accounts are. And the more attention they're given, the more their liberties they're going to take, the more they're going to keep coming, and the more they're going to do and stir the pot. Now, if they're not given that opportunity or that tolerance, because I remember years ago, or not years ago, but months ago, she said, well, I'm not going to allow trolls. Trolls aren't going to come in here. But they do. And they engage with them. So, I mean, and I gotta say it out loud because this was so funny. I wished I'd thought of this name first. Hate wax eater. I laughed. I busted when I saw that. I'm like, oh my God, I love that. That is classic. Why didn't I think of that? That's so funny.
What is it? I missed it. What is it?
It's called Hate Wax Eater. Okay. And they went out, they were over there, they entertained them. They're like, yeah, come on in, say whatever you want to say. And they're allowed over there to say, but then, somebody troll comes and says something over on, Candy's live or Rochelle's live or Kathy's live. Oh, it's evil shit.
Yeah, because we let the trolls in.
I hate to quote somebody, well, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, folks. Mm-hmm. But so I just wish that it would all just stop. Just let the stuff go. Leave the trolls to the trolls because that's what they're going to do. That's what they're always going to do. You're never going to be able to go to a community without them. They're just a part of YouTube. That's just how it is.
The hypocrisy is real.
Yes, I agree with that, Jules. I do. And I just want to see it stop. I really do. I want to see it stop because, and I don't know how to make it stop. I mean, if I don't say anything, it still continues. If I do say something, it still continues. So I don't know what to do. I'm just at a perplexed time in my life to where, I don't have a problem with any of them. I really don't. I don't even have a problem with Alana. I don't. But I just don't want to be the butt end of their lying. I don't.
No.
And just like they don't like it if somebody says stuff that's not true about them. So why would it be the shoe be on the other foot? We don't like it either. So I don't
anymore.
know how to make it.
I don't like it, but I don't care now.
Yeah.
I don't like it, but I don't care.
You cannot let this bullshit eat at your brain.
You're right, Kathy. Because
That's true.
it's just gotten to the point of ridiculous, total ridiculousness.
Yeah. After a while, it just loses its power over you. Like I was saying earlier about the word chomo or being called one. It just, after a while, it just means nothing anymore. Sad to say. So, being accused of being a troll or entertaining trolls, it just, okay.
I know it's
Yeah, it's
just
what
I
do
still
you
just
do?
crack up thinking about the fact that somebody sat for hour upon hour going through your videos trying to prove that you're bald.
I know. And they still didn't do it. It's like, come on,
Exactly.
seriously?
Hour upon hour upon hour.
No. So I have side flyaways that don't grow the same length as my long hair. But
Exactly.
okay, I just need twice as
Exactly.
bobby pins. No.
Oh, well, and yeah, and I was told that, they threatened to dox me and stuff. I'm like, well, that's going to be news to me because you don't know me. Nobody does. So, I mean, and again, it's all coming from the same person. And the other one too, that's like, well, I'll send it to you in the mail. Go for it. Send it to me in the mail and see what happens to you.
Is
Because
Annie being mean to Candy?
I hope not.
Or Super Spy Freya is checking back and forth here.
Yeah, I hope not because she doesn't deserve it.
That's one thing Candy can do is she can hold her own.
Oh, you betcha she
yeah.
can. That's my girl. Yes, she can. Yes, she can. We all can. We all can. But me and a lot of us, I don't say a lot because I don't want my friends to take the brunt of something I say.
True.
Oh, I'm the same way. Right, hon.
Yeah, I have
I
never
don't.
denied not saying the stuff I have said. I don't hide behind a troll account to say that.
Nope.
You know what I know. You know what I think of you from this account.
Exactly. We all use our own names because we're not
Yeah.
chickens. I don't have to hide behind any account to say what I want to say. I say it.
Oh no.
And I own
prefer
it.
you know it's coming from me. I'm sorry, I'm that bitch.
That's
I want you to know
right.
it's me. I'm sorry. I want you to know it's me. So I'm not going to hide under some other account. Yeah.
Hell no.
And again,
so what say whatever they want about me.
Yeah.
I don't care.
And apparently it's sad because, if they got to go live and are triggered about some of the innocent things that we've said over here that are legitimate concerns that I have that maybe other people don't, but I do because I'm worried that I know how crazy this world is and how things can be interpreted and it can be dangerous for people. So they might think it's funny and think it's a plaything and whatever, but it's not. It is not. So that's why I really hope that they will just let some of this stuff just go. Do their own thing.
Their lives would be more enjoyable. Sorry to interrupt you, Kate. Their lives would be more enjoyable if they let stuff go and enjoyed it. Enjoy YouTube. Make YouTube fun again.
Yeah,
when she used to eat and chat, when she used to literally munch and chat, she was fun to watch.
Oh, her one birthday, not this year, but the year before.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was a blast. Everybody was there. I never laughed. So I seriously thought I was going to pee my pants when she lost her phone. And Candy's going, oh my God, don't let her go out on the balcony. She'll fall off the balcony. We were all scared she's going to fall off the balcony because she'd been drinking. That was so much fun. And I miss those days. I miss it.
And they're gone, unfortunately. And I'm never going back there. But she used to be a nice, fun person to watch. And then I don't know what happened, but
honey, I don't
snapped.
either. Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know what happened either. And it's not up to me. It's not up to me to venture to guess,
No,
but I
I
can just say I miss those times, and I miss a lot of those people. But some of those people now, they just hop right on that bandwagon of hate and and just want to hate on people. And it's just like, oh my gosh,
don't know. It
if
just
some of
seems
my
it feeds something in them. I don't know, because I'm confused too. Ah,
it is it's hurtful to me to see some of the people that when especially when she has been saying this, I'm going to just keep doxing everybody, that some of her own real true friends that are her friends behind the scenes aren't going, honey, let's tone that down a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
because why would you say that? Why would you put that out there? It's because we don't know who these people are. We don't know who the trolls are. That's the whole point of everything. We don't know who these people are, but they're
That's right,
troublemakers,
hon.
and that's what they live to do. That's what they want to do. So how that is not, I mean, I'm a reasonable grown human being and I can recognize that. So why can't they recognize that?
Right. I've had two people within the last 3 days send me a DM on a social media platform and say that because of things that have been pointed out, that they no longer want to talk to me. And I told them I understood they had a right to their feelings and I wished them a good life. I'm not trolling
Exactly.
them. I'm not I'm not talking about them. I'm not mentioning their names because that's not the kind of person that I am. But
Right.
you can
Right.
guarantee you if they had said that to somebody else, their names would be all over YouTube and everything
Right.
that they said.
Right.
So
Right.
keep trying to paint me as some wicked witch, evil, hateful minion of the devil. It's not going to work for people who know me. So it's not going to bother me.
No, it's not. And it doesn't bother me at all either, because like Kathy and I've said this before. First I have to value your opinion. And
exactly.
there's a lot of people these days that I used to value their opinion. I don't anymore. I
That's
don't
right.
anymore.
Good point.
And yes, and so whatever you're going to say, because the stuff I've been hearing lately is just so outrageous that I'm like, go with that if you want. If you want to go with that one, go with
Yeah,
that. That's cool.
yeah.
Because it's
That's
just so
right.
outlandish. It's just so outlandish. And again, it's sad to me. It truly, truly is sad that they just don't want to move along and have their own fun and their own content and talk about friends. You know, it, it's just different. And again, this wasn't meant to really go this direction. We were just supposed to come in and have some fun, and we did, and we've talked about a lot of stuff, but it keeps coming back to it because again, here we're just voicing an opinion that we've had. Nobody's been nasty, nobody's been disgusting, nobody's called anybody names, but yet there's, you know, they have to immediately go live and refute and why? Why?
It's a
Why?
distraction. It's
Because
an absolute distraction. We
it
can't
must
have
be.
you listening to bad things about us. I've got more subscribers than you, so you're going to run over there and listen to her, which is fine. I understand the appeal of it. But did you see me shut down my stream because I have 5 or 6 people in? No.
No,
We're having a conversation. So,
Exactly, Kathy. That's true. And it's not necessarily, I'm not trying to talk bad about anybody.
no,
I'm just trying
no,
to
that
point
wasn't.
out what I've seen lately. So, I mean, I'm not trying to drag anybody or talk bad about anybody or put judgmental on anybody. I'm just going,
No,
this is my opinion to what I've seen, and it makes me sad. That's the whole thing is, clearly if they're over there and doing whatever, then it's not going to change, and that's sad. And again, that hurts my heart to think that, because everybody's been staying in their own lane. Nobody's even been around. I know I haven't been around even behind the scenes. I haven't been around because I've been busy. I have stuff to do. I've
Mhm.
got issues going on that I have to deal with, along with a
That's
lot of
right.
other people I know. And again, when I come on here, I want to have fun. I want to go to game night and just have some fun and be silly and crazy like we did the other night with Miss Ringer there that knows everybody with a thesaurus sitting right next to her, probably. So, Missy. So those times, those are fun, and I want those back. Because and Candy,
Exactly.
she can pull off that game night, and it's fun. It's fun,
It is. It's so much fun. And that's what
and
people need.
it is, and
Fun.
it's
Life
sad to
isn't
me
easy.
that, and Candy's even mentioned this behind the scenes several times, that we could have community game nights to where we go against each other and have fun with it, you know but
Yeah.
no, everybody's too busy attacking and pointing fingers to have any fun. So again, I don't understand it. I don't get it, because you know a lot of people can have fun and put their differences aside and be grown-ups.
Oh,
So
hold
I
on
don't
just a minute. Sorry.
understand. No, you're fine, honey. But I just don't understand why that can't happen. I don't get it. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just stupid. I just don't get why that people can't just chill out and let the trolls be the trolls and not blame everybody for all the trolls.
But
So I don't.
she has to have someone to blame, someone to accuse. That's why she is the way she is because those over there. Well, no, those over there don't care about your ass.
No, no, not really. I mean,
No.
I you know I don't necessarily, like I said, my only fear is what could happen if it
Yeah.
keeps snowballing in the direction that it's snowballing in, because there's a lot of loonies. There's lots of loonies, and who knows what they would do. And I'm not talking about any specific person. I'm talking in general. That what if you have a silent supporter that thinks, oh, I should go and do something to these people in real life. You just never know. Now, I don't have to worry because they don't know me. They don't know me at all. But other people, they have outed, and they do. So, that's the fear I have for those people, that, they could take that real life. Now, the biggest real life we ever did was when somebody was dead, who we thought was dead, and a couple phone calls were made, and that was the end of it. But she paid the ultimate price for that.
Hmm.
So, she's still getting terrorized over that. So, again, and it wasn't even us that put the information in the chat that day. I still have all that too. So, it was never us that did that. It was other people that did that. And yes, it was put up in there that day. And yes, Candy called it. She called it twice, and that was it. And it was actually meant more of, not, I'm not going to say it was a joke, but it was more to find out, we needed a closure for this. And, what better than to try to call there and find out, hey, is this really going on? Is there going to be a service? What? And then a lot of stuff got blown up out of proportion about a funeral and that kind of stuff. No, that's not what it was meant. It was meant to have a wake for us as a community to cut the ties and let it go and say, we're moving on. We're not going to discuss this again. That was for our benefit, nobody else's.
Yeah.
So again,
And
stuff
just
keeps
to
getting
preface
blown
this
out
one
of
more
proportion.
Yeah, and just to preface it one more time, we didn't call Carlos's job. We called Carlos pretending or not getting in with the program. It was not Carlos' job. It was Carlos. So
I
and it
kind
was
of think
a
it
It's Now
was too.
number, and it was not. He wasn't fired. This is all made up shit to cover her ass. So I have to say it
Right,
again. We never called
right,
his job.
right. And and again, but I don't know what else to do at this point. If I can't even have an opinion, if there's only one person on this corner of YouTube that can have an opinion, well, that's a problem too. Because I am going to have an opinion, and I'm going to try my best to voice that opinion in the most constructive way I can.
Mhm.
Because again, I haven't gone on here and yelled and called anybody names or called anybody vulgar names. I've come on here and said my opinion and what I thought. So if that's burned anybody's knickers, I'm sorry. And I
Yeah.
didn't mean to use that per se to our beloved knickers. But, if that's getting somebody's panties in a bunch, well, then they need to relax a little bit and realize that opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one.
Has one. Yeah. Yeah. And there has got a point too that I wanted to bring up at some point as don't share
Sure.
personal details. Now, I think a month or a month and a half ago on one of my lives, I put in the description box that I had a surprise coming, and I was going to do a giveaway when I hit 500. And then I had to pull that back because that involved addresses and names and shit like that. So I have withdrawn that. Well, I never actually spoke about it, but I've decided not to do it because that just pulls up a whole bunch of shit that shouldn't be.
I,
So
I get that. And it's sad
yeah,
that it has to come to
yeah,
that.
yeah, it did because when my channel was a haul channel, I did several giveaways with some really nice
Right,
people,
right,
and there you go.
right.
Yeah.
And again, and to people that say, well, Kathy, you don't put out content. Sure, you do. You've got lots of nice videos to watch about things that I was interested in, and I checked out some of your videos. So, like I said, there's people, like MT's videos, his cooking videos. I've watched his cooking videos and enjoyed them.
Mhm.
So, hey, I get it. So, again, I don't understand why we all can't live in peace. It's not that we're not willing to try to live in peace, but there's other people that just feel like that it's got to be kept going. The drama's got to be kept going. For what? Why?
And I never said I was putting out like serious content. I'm going live to talk to my friends.
Well, exactly. And
Um,
that's what it's about too.
yeah,
I mean, I've had to, get called out on different things. And, somebody said that they were never in my Discord. Well, I put out that, yes, you were in my Discord. And I had to wait for a few people to, because there's conversations going on in there. And I don't want to, I have a very strong feeling about showing private conversations about other things. And Discord is private conversations.
yeah.
But I checked with everybody. I said, guys, I got to do this. And they're like, go for it, Kate. So I did. And the other one too, I don't care. The messages get deleted right away. And I proved because and I wasn't even going to say anything, but I wasn't going to let Candy take the heat for something she did not do. I'm gonna put myself out there. And I did because I was the one that deleted the comment. That's
Mhm.
why I made the video, but that wasn't good enough either. Oh, well, I never said that it wasn't deleted. Well, okay. Then there's this big debate on, well, it was left up for a long period of time. No, it wasn't. Now, I'm not sure where timestamps went on the live streams anymore, but I have no timestamps anymore. And so I couldn't show a timestamp, and for some reason on StreamYards, I think it shows different for you guys. And I don't even know, I don't even know if Candy was on RealStream or StreamYards when that happened. But I took care of it right away. As soon as I saw it, it was gone. It was deleted. And I proved that I was the one that deleted it. Now, yes, I crossed out the personal information, but
Mhm.
I deleted it. And so I did put a video up that shows that, yes, I did delete this. So please don't sit there and call me a liar over it. So again, if you think I've lied about something, please show me what I lied about. If I'm doing something inappropriate, please show me the receipts that I've done it. If you want to call me a troll, please show me that I am doing that, what you're claiming I'm doing. If not, let it go.
Shut up. Flinging out accusations doesn't make it true.
Well, that's true. And another thing, if people when trolls come in and their stuff is said, if it's just deleted and ignored, It's much better, but people come screeching in. Oh my God, they're doxing me. That's my real name. That's my government name. Well, half the time I wouldn't know that that's your government name, but let us take care of it.
So
We'll
you
get
just
rid of it.
doxed yourself, in other words. So shut up,
Thank
let it go
you.
by, and
Right.
people will ignore it. But if you come in, like you said, screaming and yelling and raising holy hell, well, then now everybody knows. Was that your intention? Look at me, I'm a victim.
Right. Right. So, I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of people want to stand back and go, oh, no, I never did that. I never did that. But then it's been proven, the receipts have been shown
Mhm.
that certain people came in using a voice changer and got caught using a voice changer. That's been a while back, but they still got caught doing it. So, and
Yeah.
the other person where they're friends now, so of course that's been deleted. The video's been deleted, but we all heard it, we all know it. So you can't roll it back now. It's too late for that.
Can't play innocent when you've been busted being a troll using a voice changer.
Exactly, Jules. So that's kind of proof there. And we weren't the one that busted them out. It was the other person that busted them out, but now they're buddies. So that's fine. And stuff was rolled back about other things too. That's their business. If they want to roll it back, but don't blame other people for somebody else's misgivings. So that's my only thing here. So let it go. Let the trolls be the trolls. Try not to, because we all have ways to get a hold of each other. There's Messenger, there's things. If somebody sees something that's not appropriate, they can either come in themselves and like Deborah did and go, hey, and we're going to take care of it. Nobody was,
Exactly.
yeah, I mean, we were more than happy to, and we thanked her over and over. And she
Hey,
thanked us. Thank you for
it's
taking care of
right.
it.
She handled it like an adult.
Exactly, Jules. And
That's
that's
what I
all
really
anybody
like
can
about
do.
Deborah. She is an adult.
Exactly. And that's not that hard to ask. So if
No.
somebody is coming in and using a picture that I wouldn't know if that's the picture that belongs with you or not, or if that's the name that belongs with you or not.
Unlike someone else we know who modded a troll who was using a picture that they thought was Candy's real picture, and they were a mod for her for years.
And well, and somebody else
Oh.
recently did that too.
And they also
Somebody else did it.
modded someone who was using a picture of mine
Right,
for months.
right,
They were a mod, but that
right,
was okay because it was me and Candy.
right.
This
And well,
hypocritical
and
hogwash is just too much. Too much. It's
well, it
just
is.
too
Yeah,
much.
because that certain one tried to pull she even tagged her in the video and tried to say that this was Candy, and she docked some poor lady, I don't know who it was, in a video. I still have the video. So it's like, seriously? And you want to pretend like we're the ones doing this stuff? Wrong. No. You got busted doing it. She's lucky that she didn't lose her channel for it, which would have been a blessing at this point. And I'm sorry I said it, but I said it.
Mhm.
But she did. She tried to, come up. She thought she had this. This woman tried to make, and I have screenshots of that too. That if anybody has information on CM or K, let me know. Here's my Discord. So again, come on. Who do you think that was doing that? It's not rocket science, and then it came out that yes, it was. So of course. So again, don't accuse me unless you have proof. Don't accuse anybody unless you have proof. And don't punish other people for what strangers are doing.
Yeah.
I mean, that floors me. I know I've said that over and over today, but that floors me. It really does. So maybe Candy has made some headway over there. I hope so.
Well, we just had Piggy over here. I don't know why they sent her, or she
Well, I
felt the
just
need
hope
to
that
come
Candy
over
feels
here.
better
But
about whatever.
I don't know how you feel about this, Jules. But
Oh, I'm sorry, Kathy. I'm sorry.
no, they sent Piggy over here to. I guess Annie is requesting your presence on panel. So
Request denied.
thank
Request
you. I thought
denied.
so. Request.
I've got
Denied,
a
And you're
denied.
not
wonderful boss.
accusing
Because,
me of not telling you what was going
oh,
on over there.
okay.
I just deleted her comment, blocked her, and as soon as there was an opening in the conversation, I jumped in to tell you. So,
Thank you very much. Denied, denied because you lied. That's all I'm going to say.
okay, there you go. See,
Thank
that's
you
what
very much
grown-ups
for.
do.
That's right.
Yeah, she said,
Denied because you lied. And you
she
continually
said,
lie. And I don't have to prove myself to anybody anymore.
she said, exactly. Jules being requested to come on panel with Candy on Annie, please, also by Sarah. And you have a relationship with Sarah, as far as I know, privately, so you can discuss anything you want to with Sarah. But, it would have been nice. I would love to get on panel and hash all this out. I would love that. That would make my weekend. That would make my weekend. You know, and I know we all don't have to come out friendly and kumbaya and all other shit, but at least some sort of truce drawn in the sand to stop accusing everybody of you're this troll and you're that troll and it's all those people over there doing it. Where it's not. It's just simply not. And I just don't get it. So I would love to make some sort of truce to where they would just knock it off. Because honestly, nobody, I mean, Candy has been in her own lane, doing her own thing, you know.
Yeah.
And I do have to say this. I do have to say this in her defense. You know, it's somebody said something about her clothing video, okay? To where, oh, they can tape it to the door. Well, clothing wasn't taped to the door. I believe it was hung on a hanger behind a
Yeah.
hotel door, which you can tell it's some sort of hotel, which whatever. I'm not in Candy's business. I don't care. But, they're making fun of her saying that's toddler clothing, a size 3-5. Honey, I worked retail and in clothing for many, many years. Apparently, that's a size small. I had a niece that was a size 0, and one of them was a size 2. So size 3 to 5 is not a toddler size. It's just a small size. It's small. So there's sizes way smaller than that. I hate to tell people. So apparently she hasn't been in a real clothing store where they sell like Express. Go to Express. They're size 0s. I mean, when I asked my niece one time because she was wanting something me to check for something they have, and I'm like, honey, what size do you need? 2. I'm like, excuse me, do you mean like is there a 1 in front of that? She goes, no, 2.
I have a friend who's petite like that. She's just very
Yes.
small. She's 5 feet tall and she wears size 2 and
Yes.
sometimes a 4 or 5. And
Yep.
because when I buy her clothes, I have to be careful for birthdays and things. And she's just a tiny person.
Exactly. One of my nieces is, she's not super short. She's probably about 5'5" maybe, and she wears a size 0. I'm like, damn, shit's changed because I haven't been in retail for a long time, y'all. I mean, that ship sailed a long time ago, but I still get out and go to Express and shop and do whatever and hit the mall to know that there's our size 0.
Yeah,
well, see, they changed the sizes of which I don't know. You might know a few years ago, trying to accommodate bigger people and not make them feel so bad.
Oh, please!
Yes,
it's true, Kathy.
No, I absolutely.
That's commercially why they did it. Yes.
Of course, it's vanity sizing. But when I was back being a chubby teenager, plus sizes were referred to as misses.
Oh yes.
And and normal girls' clothing, or normal or standard girls' clothing was miss. So you had the miss section and you had the misses section, and that was it. So you ended up wearing old lady clothes because that's all that was available.
Right. And juniors, they still have a juniors department because, depending on Yeah, and I don't think Candy's 600 pounds. Come on, you guys,
I have
stop.
never thought Candy was big. I
I
always
didn't
assumed
either.
she was just,
I
a
don't know.
normal sized woman. She could
They
be five
started
foot
that
two.
they started that rumor when she was exercising and said she used tapes of exercise equipment noise because she was 600 pound and bedbound. They make
Yeah,
Right.
everybody 600 pounds and
I know that
bedbound.
used to
And
be
I
the
guess
You
that's,
thing.
know, like
but
Jenny's, they say Jenny's bedbound. They're saying I'm 500 pounds. I done gained 20 some pounds
I'm
since they
sure I'm
started
not.
talking about me being 475 pounds. Now I'm 500 to them. I mean,
Uh,
why do they always have to body shame? Nobody
well,
body
and
shaming
people,
them.
well, they're all like too. Well, show yourselves, prove you're this, prove you're that. I don't have to do that because I've always
no.
been a private person. I have put, and I will say this, I have put my real picture out there. Well, right now it's on another creator's channel with a dick drone on it. So there you go.
I'm sorry.
I know it's funny. It is funny. My husband teases me because one's a hobbit and then one's a penis. It's like whatever. So, and she thinks that's
Oh my
hurting me. I think
God.
it's hilarious.
Also a troll who is modded on so and so's channel.
Yeah.
Who?
That same troll is a mod
Oh,
for her that has the bully channel with Kate and Candy on it is a
Right.
mod for the one
Now,
bitching about
I
trolls.
don't think she. I don't think she is. I don't think she is.
Well, she was.
Oh, she might have been, a while back, maybe, but now I don't think she is now because she rarely crawls out from under her rock to go to, terrorize and whatever. And her,
Well,
I
she
don't care
wouldn't.
about. I will say, whatever about that one. I don't care. But, so it's comical to me that they're all like, well, show it. Well, I remember a time, probably about this time last year, maybe a little bit later on, that a certain person went to Walmart to brag about weighing themselves and how much weight they've lost, to where
oh,
she supposedly, and now we were all like, sign me up for this diet, y'all, because she took off like 30 pounds in 5 days. That's what she
Wow.
was trying to sell. Now, that's the one thing I was talking about. Weight has never come up. I don't care what anybody, to be my friend, you don't have to be a size 0, you don't have to be a size 20, you don't have to be whatever you are. You're my friend because what is on the inside. Okay, not what you look like, not whatever. Now, the only time that was ever even said anything about that was because of that, because she tried to sell us that bullshit. You don't lose 30 pounds in 5 to 7 days. Good luck with that. And so that's what everybody was calling bullshit about. So nobody was ever trying to make fun of anybody's weight or their size or whatever. But we are going to call bullshit out when it's plain bullshit. Come on now.
yeah. If you put it
It's
out there, then you're going to get commented on.
exactly,
I don't show
that's
my
just it.
face because I don't
Exactly.
want to. I'm not going to show you how much I weigh because I don't want to. You can't shame me because you just can't. I've got nothing to prove to you. Who are you? Who are you that you want me
Exactly.
to prove anything to you? You're
Right.
disgusting people, you
Right. Because
know?
I don't put it out there. I don't put
No,
out that this is me and this is what I'm doing. I've put out my real
Right.
picture before. I've used it before.
Excuse me.
And
Oh, sorry.
you know, I'm not embarrassed to say I'm 60 years old. I don't care. Who am I trying to
Hey, you
impress?
earned it, honey. You earned it. Every
Girl,
year
I
of it,
did.
you worked for it.
Trust me. And
Well,
when
Kathy, but
people remind me of my gray hair, I have to just go, well, thank you very much. I earned every one.
that's right. Kathy, I don't know if Kate remembers or not, or nickname or anybody else, who was back in the day. But I used to have pictures of my family and myself. I made like collage videos, and
yeah.
had trying to uplift people, and I had, quotes and all these things, So I did have my picture on one of them, and I had kids' pictures on them and family members' pictures on them. And that's how they
Right,
got a hold of the picture of me, and that's how they started trolling me with my picture. And then a couple of
right.
them were using kids' pictures, and
Uh,
that's when I had enough and I locked down all the family videos.
Oh, yeah, I don't
But
blame you. I don't blame you. And that's, again, I learned a long time ago that You were talking about, Andy Worski and, those guys, because I've known about those guys for years.
Oh yeah.
So, I've been behind the scenes with some of those guys, and I learned the hard way that you don't share stuff like that just for that reason. You don't. And, so I've always been a very private person online. It's not that I'm weigh 5,000 pounds or that I'm ugly or just
It's a
whatever. I've just
safety
been a
issue.
private person.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to put that out there. It's not that I'm embarrassed about anything, but, I'm not going to put it out there. That's just me.
Yeah.
That's my personal preference.
Oh, no,
So,
absolutely. And
you know,
again, I have to say it again. I don't care if you can make me 1,000 pounds. Okay, I'll accept that. I'm 1,000 pound. I'm bedbound. I phone Uber Eats and 5 times a day. If that's what you want to run with, then you go right ahead because I don't care.
exactly. Exactly. And, I would want nothing more than to have peace with these people, but I don't know how to achieve it. Maybe that's where I'm stumped. I don't know how to achieve it at this point because I'm not allowed to have an opinion.
Right.
Everybody else can have an opinion, but nope, we're nasty trolly bitches if we're mean girls if we have an opinion. So, that's not, I'm not really sure what, planet they grew up on, but like I said earlier, everybody has an opinion. Everybody has a right to an opinion. Now, you may not agree with my opinion, and that's totally fine. I don't care if you do or don't, but we can be adults and talk about it. I don't have warm and fuzzy with everybody. I got to say, I don't think I've had any major issues with anyone in Discord, but we've talked about a few things sometimes,
Hmm.
but we usually resolve things and we go along, or sometimes we have agreed to disagree.
Exactly. Like adults.
Right, Jules. And that's what it comes down to. And like I said, I think we would have a lot more fun, because Candy had a point when she called it the pretzel community. Everybody kind of thought that was funny. Well, it is funny, but it's true. There was Annie's community. Their MT went live, so he had a little community. Candy had a community. Red had a community. There was, all these people floating about with one another. And no, we all didn't get along all the time. But, we usually found a way to figure stuff out, to have some fun and interact and be intertwined. So that's where the pretzel thing came in.
Right. That was cute.
So it is cute. And I think that's very cute. And, and it's true. It's very true because we all are actually part of one big community. But it's fractured. And it's fractured badly, for whatever reason. And, I just want it to stop. I want my friends to be, to stop, being picked on. And, just for something that I say, you want to go for me. And because they can't punish me because they don't have information on me, but they can punish my friends that they do. And that's not right. It's
No,
not right.
it's not.
And so I just wish it would end. I would love to have peace. But again, I don't know how to get it. I don't know how to get there with it. Because if people are going to believe what the trolls say, because that's a big part of the problem too. So that's why I told somebody the other day that, and they got snippy with me, but I don't care. And I may have overstepped my bounds. I mean, Candy has a way she likes to run things. Kathy, you have a way that you like to run things. And Rochelle has a way that she runs things.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm a mod for all three of you guys. So when Candy has something that she wants done, now the other day, I made it kind of an executive decision and I told her about it later and I apologized if I was stepping on her toes. But I said, you know what? I think going forward, a thing that's really detrimental is when people come in and say, well, over there, they're saying so and so and so and so. That's not beneficial to anybody. All it does is stir the shit. That's all it does. So I told the person, I said, you know what? Let's not come over and talk about what somebody else is saying somewhere else. It's not beneficial. It's just stirring the pot.
Yep, that's true.
And I think I talked to her about it, after the fact, and she pretty much agreed with me and said, yeah, you're right. That just stirs the pot. So nobody needs that. We don't need to engage with that. They don't need to engage with that. So if, it's clear, like I said, our clones and our trolls have been all over there and stuff. Like I said, I do wish I'd thought of the, hate wax eater first, but that was a pretty good one. And, so, but that was right up in her chat. I went back and watched it and saw it and was like, wow, okay, they weren't fibbing. That really did happen. So, so that nobody can get upset about trolls being allowed here and trial there. So if everybody would just stick to their guns, not listen to the trolls, because I remember her saying a long time ago when I was still a supporter over there, to where she wasn't going to listen to what other people said unless she had heard it herself.
Well,
firsthand.
That's right. I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, because that happened a couple of years ago, and it happened to two people that we know and love, and they got accused of things that were false, and it came out later that they were false, and they got blamed. And I know she felt really bad about that. And she said at one point that, you know what, I'm not going to listen to what other people say unless I hear it myself. I think that's good rule of thumb for all of us.
Yes, and I try to live by that, like with newer people coming in. I have to, I'm going to watch. Oh, there's my phone ringing. Hang on, you guys carry on. I will. I gotta answer
No problem. That's fine, honey. I have to go here sometime soon anyways, because my husband's looking at me like, are you going to actually feed me something today, lady?
Yeah, same here.
I
Never
know.
mind.
Well, now
It's one of
she,
those
she
scam
was over
calls.
there screaming and hollering and yelling not long ago that I am the one that refused to mediate with Sarah when that was not true. And she talked all kinds of dog crap about me. So now I am refusing to mediate.
Yeah.
I'm over it. Too much has happened
Right.
between now and then. Too much. Too many lies, too much crap, too many attacks on me with unfounded, bull crap and lies. Like I said last night, she's dead to me. I'm done.
Right. And I can't blame you for that. I can't. I don't blame you for that. But I do think that I think we can all agree to maybe be neutral and just leave things alone.
We do try.
We do, Kathy. I mean, I know I
Yeah,
do.
we
Like
do.
last night was the perfect example. Deborah came in thanking us, saying, "Hey, I appreciate you taking care of that." And we're like, "Thank you for letting us know, because if we didn't know, we wouldn't have known."
Right.
That's right.
And like today the troll came in and said something about someone else, and it was not nice, and it was deleted. And it was said, "Look, this is what I'm talking about. We're not going to have that here." Because we don't want that around. We don't want that negativity. We don't want people's names out there. And so, at this point going forward, because like I told Candy the other day, I said, I am so proud of you. You've done so well. She's responded to a few things, but it's only been to one person. And me, I still have only a problem with one person. And I've been very clear about who it is. So, because that one attacked me way too many times, and I get it. So I understand where Jules is coming from. But I'm not going to be all warm and cozy with people. But if they come in and I'm not appreciative, I'm going to slink back to the bushes, behave myself, and have my little finger ready if I need be for whatever comes to be. But I'm going to let it go, and I'm just not going to be there to participate. I'll be back in the bushes when the person that I'm not thrilled with is gone. I'll come back.
Same.
And I think that's fair on all fronts, but they need to stop listening to what the trolls say, because that's exactly what they are trolls, and that's their only purpose in life, is to cause problems and stir the shit up.
Agreed. And that this, my friends, we've been at this for 3 hours and
Oh my.
23 minutes. So my bum hurts. I have to pee and I'm hungry. So
No, I think that's for all of us. So, but yeah, and so again, this was not to try to bash people. It wasn't trying to do anything like that. It was just voicing our opinions on how we feel.
that's right.
So that's how I feel. That's how Kathy felt. That's how Jules has felt. And if they have feelings too, they're entitled to them as well. But I just
That's
wish we could
right.
all find a common ground. That we'll end that on common ground. Maybe we can find it.
Okay. So we'll wrap it up now, my friends. Everybody go eat, pee, and walk, stretch, and then head on over to Annie's because I'm sure she needs the views.
Well, I hope you know I won't be over
Oh,
there.
I won't be either.
No, I'm
No.
having shrimp for dinner, so I'm good. I'm starving.
All right, kids. It was fun and
Yes.
informative, and let's do it again soon.
All right.
Thanks
Love
for
you
having me,
guys.
Kathy. Good to see you,
Betcha.
Jules.
Good to see you
Bye.
too. Love you guys. All in the chat
Bye.
too.
Yep, everybody in
Bye.
the chat. Hug goals.
Bye.